exercises. All shops and markets in Accra should be closed during the exercise for the 2 days to allow for sweeping, desalting gutters, and clearing flood-related debris. Officials, including ministers, members of parliament, and the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, are on ground to lead and monitor the cleanup activities, with Zoom Lion Ghana Limited also providing waste management logistics. While Ghanaians have been encouraged to support the government's flood mitigation efforts, authorities also have a charge to crack the whip to restore and protect the security of the environment. Natasha Jamram, Metro News.
President Mahama in 2015 brought the idea that let's establish waste transfer stations in some of the strategic areas. So when the people bring them there, then you sort them, recycle send the plastic to the recycling plant, send the compost to the compost plant, then the residual you give it to a long articulated track that will take it from the Greater Accra region and send it to Eastern region or Central region. That was the idea President Mahama brought in 2015. But for some time we stopped using it. So today and tomorrow, as we are doing this, if not that we are opening all the 6 transfer stations in the country, you will see that we'll sweep and there will be nowhere to send them. So you heard me yesterday, I said that the president had to go and re-engage. The national security also had to step in. So as I'm speaking to you, all the transfer stations have been activated. People are sending some to Nima, Achimbota, Abukubi, Teshi, Malam, and that is the way to go. And once the transfer station, today, when we went to Nungwa, you realize that the MC said, oh, for today and tomorrow, they've opened the fertilizer transfer stations for them for use. So the Abobo Yas are not going to be cutting long distance before they throw the refuse away. So Teshi here, there's a transfer station. Achimota, there's a transfer station. Abukubi, there's a transfer station. So once that happens, they are not going to be sending them to the wetlands. And there's not going to be indiscriminate dumping of or disposal of refuse in unengineered landfill site, like we were doing for the past few months. And that's what brought about all the refuse. When you throw away refuse here, and this place is overflooded, it will take the refuse back into your house. And that's what we experienced on 30th of this month. We have one at Aidan, and then we have a transfer station at Gaik. But we have Adipa and we have Adipa landfill site which is functioning, and then we have one also in the Eastern region. And both those things, those two I've mentioned are private ones. So the government is now going to establish a new one. But landfill site, no matter how big is it, it's not a solution. The most important thing is the recycling. And thankfully, the president has started paying for the RCOPs. And once he's paying for the RCOPs, it means the amount of waste that will be thrown away will not be too much. Because when you clear, you sort or segregate, then you recycle the plastics, then you turn the compost into organic manure, and the little residual, the one that cannot be used for anything, is the one you send to landfill site. But if you don't recycle and all you are doing is just sweeping and dumping, sweeping and dumping, even if they gave you 200 or 1,000 acres of landfill site, within few months it will be full. And the transfer stations to the Aboboyas, who are the informal waste collectors who are using the Aboboyas, there are about 4,000. So even if you say they should bring them here within a day, this place will be a landfill site.
Honorable Nana Oyebampo Ado, Deputy Chief of Staff, was speaking to you. We wanted to find out about the cleanup exercise. We know that dignitaries are coming in, they are joining the fight to get cleanliness. I mean, going here in our country. But we wanted to find out from you, what do you think it would send to Ghanaians out there?
First, in terms of information, it is nationwide. All regional ministers are conducting the sanitation exercise. All the MMDCs, all the district assemblies, and all the CEOs, public service, civil service, we are all on deck. So here at Jubilee House, we have our chief director, we have our political class, we have the civil servants, we have the security numbering over 800, and we're all working to clean our environs. At the seat of government, we have decided that we are going beyond Jubilee House and cleaning all the way through the ceremonial roads to 37 Military Hospital. The Vice President just joined us too. Now, this is very symbolic because we are going back to that culture of cleaning our environs. We are leading by example. We want to avert the floods and the filth. And so we are doing this, and this will be a very regular feature. This is to all Ghanaians. Let's clean our surroundings. Let's come together. It's been a very lovely morning.
Yeah,
we are all working together. It's really very nice. We are exercising.
Yeah, it's exercise for all of us too.
We are also bonding with our workers,
comrades and peers.
Comrades and peers. And then ultimately we are cleaning our surroundings. And this should go with sensitization on dropping litter and also regular timely cleaning, because we see a lot of sandbanks on the ceremonial roads, and so we are looking at that. So we are also making observations so that we can make recommendations.
Quickly, when we started from 37 this morning, what we realized was some people in trotros were just dropping, rubbers, pure water rubbers and so on the floor. What can we do so that they can also understand that, listen, this is what is going on now, this is the way forward for us, we want to be clean, our cities has to be clean, our nation has to be clean, so you don't have to continue to do this. I mean, I'm asking this based on the fact that those that are in charge of transport and so on, how are they also able to inform people that when they get people on their buses, they should know that this is what they don't have to do?
We need to scale up dramatically the education on litter, on throwing rubber and pure water on the streets. It is a no-no. So we need to scale up and increase the education, and even have a program include it in our syllabus in the primary schools, in secondary, in SHS and all that. We need to inculcate that culture, and it starts with this. So this is our contribution from the Jubilee House, the seat of government. So congratulations, Elsa Hughes, everybody.
All right, so we're going to be speaking to former finance minister and also advisor to the government when it comes to the economy, Honorable. He has been enjoying the cleanup exercise. We're still doing it right here at the Flagstaff Bar. And I want to find out from him what message does he have for Ghanaians when it comes to this cleanup exercise, so that we can continue to do it on a weekly basis.
Well, okay, let me begin with a very common cleanliness is godliness. And so, even from a traditional perspective, I would love to saying, and it continues in our communities, sweeping, the house, the sweeping the surroundings, to make it, clean and neat. I think that's all it is.
Here at the 37 hospital bar stop, we're about to go on the cleanup exercise. That is the Ayawaso East, and I'm here with Abdul Ibrahim, who happens to be the MCE for Ayawaso East. Good morning to you, sir. All right then. So I wanted you to give us the targeted areas that we'll be taking care of this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for coming through this morning. As you can see, our people are here to support the present initiative. So this morning we are doing the 37 road, we are doing the Jubilee House, we are doing the new Ministry of Finance, and then we are doing the Nima Kanda Highway. So those are the roads we are doing for today. And then tomorrow we go to the Nima community.
And how long are we going to be doing this?
It depends. I can't give a time, but I remember in this morning, 6 a.m. to 12, we'll be able to get all our babies.
All right, I'm sure that all the resources that we need, we have them available.
Yes, we have everything. We have compactors, we have our super trucks, our boreholes, our standby power, so everything is fine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
The two-day cleanup exercise, which has been declared by President John Dramani Mahama, is currently going on in various places across the country. And here at the Christian Council, as the Bible says, cleanliness is up to godliness. They are also taking part, and they are also marking their activities with a lot of sanitation programs and sensitization. I have with me here the General Secretary, Reverend Cyril Fariosi, here, who would want to share with us why they are taking part of this exercise and why is it important for us to be taking some of this exercise that will help us improve in our communities. Reverend, thanks for joining us on Metro TV. Why is the Christian Council joining this two-day general cleanup exercise, which was ordered by President Mahama?
You are most welcome. as you rightly said, cleanliness is next to godliness. So it is our sacred duty as Christians to be clean. The first commandment that God gave us as children of God is to take care of the environment, is to work and till the land. So that is the first commandment. So we welcome what the president had initiated. The reason why we welcome it is that it aligns with our own values. Our own value is to be clean, is to take care of the environment, is to tend the environment and make sure that everything is in place. We as Christian Council, we have our own environmental care and cleanliness program, which we launched about a month or two ago. In fact, in collaboration with the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. So we are already involved in the process, and so for government and the president to initiate this, we say hallelujah. It is in line with what we already wanted to do.
Reverend, we also learned, apart from this cleanup exercise, there are some activities of sensitization program that you are also embarking on as part of this exercise. Can you brief us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so as part of our environmental care and cleanliness program, we have decided to, in fact, we publish a booklet, a study booklet. Every year we publish study booklets. And so we publish a study booklet on cleanliness. Environmental cleanliness is our responsibility. So we are going to we usually send this out to all our local council of churches, which we have done and we are still doing. But this time we want to focus on schools, because sometimes it's difficult to teach an old dog new tricks. We want to focus on the youth. They are more malleable, so that when we ask them to do something, they'll be able to do it for us. So for that reason, we are going to take the booklets to our schools and not just give it to them, but actually create awareness by doing some training workshops, teaching them how to take care of their environments.
Well, the Bible preaches about cleanliness, but in most of our communities and various places, you will see a lot of Christians who do not practice some of these things that the Bible teaches us. What would be your advice to the general public concerning cleanliness or sanitation issues?
We are seeing the consequences of not obeying God's commandment to take care of the environment, to clean our environment and to sanitize our environment. So my advice to all our member churches, our church members, to everyone, is that we should take time off our busy schedules to clean the environment, as has been done, as has been instituted by the government, that on every first weekend, every first Saturday of the month should be a cleaning. We should adhere to some of those simple ways of obeying God's commandments to us. So that would be my advice to everyone. Because if we are a majority Christian nation, then it behoves on us to also behave as such. We can't be Christian and be dirty at the same time. And I know our Muslim brothers are also very, very clean. They wash several times before even they pray. So, but we sometimes their surroundings can be filthy. So we must make sure that we observe the rules, the regulations in totality.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Reverend. So you just heard from the General Secretary of the Christian Council of Ghana, Reverend Cyril Fayosi. I also have with me here Honorable Kwaku Anyudoho, who used to be politician and now into full Christianity. Let me ask him some of this reoccurrence of the flood issues that we are facing as a country. Is it a result of the people, or we should blame politicians? Honorable, welcome.
Thank you.
Why are you taking part of these exercises, and what can you say about this?
Well, first of all, I believe that the first mandate, God-given mandate, is to take care of the garden and to tender it. That's in Genesis. That's a general divine mandate for all humankind. But of course, more specifically, Recently, I'm associated with the Christian Council in various ways. And so, of course, then again, the government has issued a directive and we're enjoined to obey positive government directives. And so this is a good call. And so, yes, as a responsible ecumenical body, we are engaging within the precincts of the Christian Council because that's what we are all enjoying to do, to engage around our precincts, and charity begins at home. So take care of your environment first, and that's what we are doing here this morning.
This challenge has been facing us as a country for over 60 years. Should we blame the government or politicians? Let me say politicians or the citizen. Who are we to be blamed for this kind of reoccurring of flood that is facing us as a country?
In all honesty, we need a total mindset overhaul, mindset transformation. Right from the kindergarten level. That's the only way forward. Because even if you ask me, what we are doing today is just an activity. It's an activity. It's not a mindset. It's an activity. If we finish today, tomorrow, it will recur. There will be a recurrence because it's just an activity. Until we begin to develop a comprehensive mindset for national development, then we are not getting anywhere. And that's why some of us are involved. So yes, like you said, at one point in time I was actively in politics. These days I'm more into nation building. Not the partisan politics, but now nation building. Let's bring our experience to bear and see how we can recreate another mindset for nation building. And for me, when I talk about mindset development, it's nothing abstract. If we take our anthem, God bless our homeland Ghana, there's God there. You take our pledge, I promise on my honor, so help me God. Where is that God? And that God is in the words. If you take the anthem, for example, to cherish fearless honesty, to resist oppressor's rule. Where is the oppression? The oppression is here. It's a mindset oppression. Fearless honesty. The honesty is such that we don't destroy the environment. And when you are doing it and it's wrong, I should be honest enough to tell you that, oh, my brother, it's wrong. If I'm doing it and it's wrong, you should be honest enough to tell me that that is where the fearless honesty is. You know, I promise on my honor to be faithful and loyal to Ghana, my motherland. Where's the loyalty? I pledge myself to the service. So this is the service. I mean, it must not be a 2-day affair. It must be a continuous mindset transformation.
All right. Thank you very much. So we just had Honorable Kokwanyido, who is also part of the Christian Council of Ghana. For the Christian Council of Ghana, I mean, nation building is everybody's responsibilities, and they believe that they are taking part of this 2-day cleanup, and it shouldn't be a 9-day wonder, but should be day-to-day activities, so part of our lives that will help us improve and also have to curb this reoccurring flood issue that is confronting our country. Reporting from Metro TV News, I'm Kofi Ochobekweng, Accra.
My name is Doris Pekwaje. I work as the Managing Director for Zoomlion Ghana Limited.
How prepared is Zoomlion ahead of today's cleanup exercise and tomorrow as well?
You know, Zoomlion has worked in Ghana for over 2 decades, and we are represented in all 16 regions, 261 districts of Ghana. And as you're well aware, we are the sanitation experts, and so we are very much prepared. We have deployed our trucks, our logistics, equipment men. Here in Greater Accra, we have about 2,000 men that we have deployed on the ground. And in all the other 7 regions that the floods were affected as well. And so we are ready. Our equipment are on the ground. We have deployed some equipment as well for fumigation, because we know that after the floods, we will be prone to certain health hazards. And so we are fumigating other places as well. We are fully ready, and as media, when you go around, you will see that our automizers are all over the place, and we've started a fumigation. It will not just be a 9-day wonder, it's going to be a continuous thing. And as we have responded to the call of His Excellency, the President, John Dramani Mahama, we are going to be fully involved in the 2 days activities, which includes fumigation.
Yeah, finally, we know that due to the flood situation, some of the landfill sites have been shut down. Does Zoomlion have the capacity in order to transport all the waste that will be collected from the various cleaning places?
Currently, we have opened our transfer stations. So when you go to Malam, when you go to Achimota, when you go to Teshi, all these transfer stations and the Irikop on the Kolebu Road, it's fully opened, and so we are ready to receive the waste. Yes, Zoom Lion is fully prepared and ready to support. My name is Doris Pekwaje. I work as the Managing Director for Zoom Lion Ghana Limited.
How prepared is Zoom Lion ahead of today's cleanup exercise and tomorrow as well?
You know, Zoom Lion has worked in Ghana for over 2 decades, and we are represented in all 16 regions, 261 districts of Ghana. And as you're well aware, we are the sanitation experts, and so we are very much prepared. We have deployed our trucks, our logistics equipment men. Here in Greater Accra, we have about 2,000 men that we have deployed on the ground, and in all the other 7 regions that the floods were affected as well. And so we are ready. Our equipment are on the ground. We have deployed some equipment as well for fumigation, because we know that after the floods, we will be prone to certain health hazards. And so we are fumigating other places as well. We are fully ready. And as media, when you go around, you will see that our optimizers are all over the place. And we've started a fumigation. It will not just be a 9-day wonder. It's going to be a continuous thing. And as we have responded to the call of His Excellency, the President, John Dramani Mahama, we're going to be fully involved in the 2 days activities, which includes fumigation.
Yeah, finally, we know that due to the flood situation, some of the landfill sites have been shut down. Does Zoom Lion have the capacity in order to transport all the waste that will be collected from the various cleaning places?
Currently, we have opened our transfer stations. So when you go to Malam, when you go to Achimota, when you go to Teshi, all these transfer stations and the Irikop on the Kolebu Road, it's fully opened, and so we are ready to receive the waste. Yes, Zoom Lion is fully prepared and ready to support government and the MMAs in this call.
It's a call to action. It is a call to take up responsibility, and it is a call to rid our country of filth. And that is what is happening today with the national cleanup exercise, and tomorrow also July 10 and July 11, and we're bringing you a coverage of all of that. Right, we've been doing that to build up, but today, of course, from Good Morning Ghana right till later in the afternoon, we're here for you to bring you coverage of everything that is happening on the ground. So welcome to the program. My name is Desmond Okreko-Danson. We're live on Facebook, Metro TV Ghana, also on DSTV channel 277, 94.1 FM. On radio. So you know that, of course, after the rains that we had on the 29th of June caused a lot of havoc. It caused a lot of issues with regards to sanitation, where many residents of Accra and several other regions were devastated by the floods. Homes were swept away, businesses were swept away, and there was a need to find a quick solution to this. As the government tries to find a solution, in the meantime, we heard the government announce that this cleanup exercise is supposed to happen as they try to find a long-lasting solution to the perennial flooding situation we have in the country that has caused the lives of over 30 people and displaced a lot of many others. And so today, with the cleanup exercise ongoing, all officials from the MMDAs are supposed to be out. Sanitation companies are supposed to be out. Security services are supposed to be out. Ministries are supposed to be out to clear their environment. And then tomorrow, we take it a notch higher with every single resident being part of this. And so this means that businesses would have to be closed down from morning till about 1 p.m. so everybody can partake in the exercise. And it's a very important one that is happening all across the country. 7 regions, as has been mentioned in the statement released by government. And so we have our reporters on the ground who will be sharing with us what is happening, and we'll get into some of the regions also and engage our correspondents there. We have Vanessa Edotum-Boateng is moving around with the AMA. Kwesi Kwetia will be joining me very soon. He actually went out. He was in Ayawaso Central, and you saw him there speaking to Nana Oye Bampoado and several others on what is being done. Today, the president is out, the vice president is also out. Everybody is coming aboard. The Christian Council of Ghana is out also to support the cleanup exercise that is happening today. So stay with us right here as we bring you all the coverage, yes, so you know what is happening today in town with regards to the cleanup exercise. And in studio, we'll be engaging some stakeholders in the sanitation space. We'll be speaking to Madam Emma Adjoa Pio. She's the manager of governmental affairs at Zoomlion Ghana Limited. Of course, a major pillar in this exercise, deploying personnel. You see them in the uniforms, deploying equipment, deploying a lot of machinery to help with this exercise. So we'll be speaking to her and several other guests who will be joining me in studio for a conversation on this. And as the program goes on, we'll definitely be crossing over to some of our colleagues on the ground, right? So that is what we'll be bringing to you today on the show. As of course, we're getting into Good Afternoon Ghana till 2 p.m. We are here to showcase to you all that is happening on the ground. So for now, this is the show. We have everything for you right here on the program. National Cleanup Exercise, day 1 of it happening today, and then day 2 continues tomorrow. So we're going to take some of the live pictures as you see on the screen, and then we'll speak to Madam Emma Adjoa Apia who will be joining us from Zoomlion. So we talk about that. All right, so my colleague Vanessa Edotum-Boateng spoke to the mayor of Accra earlier today, and let's listen to that. When we come back, we continue.
Is being made, and we are currently at the AMA. What are the activities in place? And I also understand you've been working throughout the night. What are the activities in place?
As a mayor, Your Excellency's admin that we should have 2 days of cleaning, national cleaning. So throughout the night, we'll be making sure things will be in place, where people have to be into, where the sweepers have to be, where the task force have to be. So we're working through all the nights. And AMA itself, we do 24-hour rubbish collection. So it's a normal thing for me. This is just it's something I always do. So this is not the first time.
Right, and I've seen it in collaboration with Zoomlion.
Zoomlion is helping. It's a national work that we are doing, and Zoomlion is also helping for us to do the work. But the rubbish that we collect 24 hours, we are not working with Zoomlion.
So far, are you happy with the activities in the market? When coming, I saw that a lot of people didn't come to trade today. But are you happy with the turnouts in the market, the activities?
We made a lot of announcements yesterday that they should come to their shops. Whatever rubbish you have, it's not that we finish the cleaning and you come and hide rubbish. They are not coming. We'll make sure we lock up their shop. And then we'll open it for you.
Well, have you so far seized any items from people that still insisted on coming to work?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of items so far. The food stuff and 1 or 2 things.
Are they going to get it back?
No, we're giving it to the children's home. I'm going to dash it out.
Okay, so what areas did you make deployment to today?
Agbogbosin, Kaneshi, Aveno, Dogo Beach, Okainshi, Seko, part of Caprice, and then Choco area, Chebuena.
Okay, so thank you so much. Currently at AMA, and as the president announced a 2-day national cleanup exercise, and in your shot you can see people around. People have been deployed to many places for the exercise to begin. Some drivers has also given up their vehicles for the Zoomlion workers and people that are going to do the cleanup to be transported to those places, and some deployments have been made. The immigration, is here. Fire service is also here. They'll see to the activities that has been going on and making sure that everything goes smoothly. So at the AMA, the activities include the evacuation of refuse and disaster waste heaps, and the locations are all Agbogbloshie Lorry Park, Kaneshi Market. Then we have the
Right, so that was my colleague Vanessa Dotum-Boateng speaking to the mayor of Accra, Michael Kpakpo Alote there, where he's talked about the deployments that have been made this morning to just make sure that everybody's getting involved in the exercise. And he also added that they've seized a number of items from persons who had opened their shops earlier this morning. And, well, he says they're taking them to the children's home. And we'll get back to my colleague Vanessa Dotum-Boateng in a bit and to see what she found out from the markets. She was in the markets also earlier this morning to see what was happening there, whether everybody was joining in today's exercise. So we're going to go there in a bit, and then we'll see how that also goes. But we're live on Facebook, Metro TV Ghana. Join us live on there. You can also share with us any videos from your community, and then we can also get to do some other things across the region, getting some responses from our correspondents across the various regions, and also get to find out how things are going on there on DSTV channel 277. Also, we are live on there. So let's head to the markets. My colleague Vanessa was there at the markets and also has found this report.
Well, a national general cleanup exercise is underway today, Friday 10, and tomorrow 11th. I'm currently at the Accra Market, Kimbu Road, and you know this area has been a very busy area, but today that is not the story. Well, the directive that President John Dramani Mahama gave regarding the nationwide cleanup exercise is underway, like I said earlier. Well, you can see in your shots, people are making efforts to clean their locations, their areas right in the market, and people are not selling. Like I earlier mentioned, people are not selling. People haven't come to the market to sell. Rather, they are here to clean, sweep the still gutters, and then keep the city clean as it was announced. And so I will get closer to one of our market women who ordinarily would have been here to do business but is sweeping today. Mami, ako ababa Metro TV. And mpacho tonde cabbage. What's on cabbage? And then one best schedule. And there's a cleaning exercise. Come up schedule. Now, who arrangement? Who is saying like directives now? President Nima say Obia Embra out, Embe cleaning everywhere. Who is saying? What do you think? Kayemu, say ma hunu die. Entino, ayabati abadina have it anapana. Yehu pani bia wa. One kasa money to ya prepare hen na siesie ha so. Opani bi ansi ha. Na opani dey say ombeba be dey. Mpacho. Ombeba wa yan bibi se bia. Baby e be sabola na koguo won say ma prawie nso nya baby e me sabola na gu omo ka say mumpra na mumbo ombeko around na omo asesa yaye from anafa na de ko na ya san ko si wachi san de ba eni so mo ho ye na nka me ma no so sesa gu ye ma ne pra na me ma no so sesa but nti e chena so wo beto aso oh e chena meto aso so be sha jata be say from anopa 6 am to 1 nti time na be shejwa me de na ka ya hamanache but that time ya pa it's any ochina de won should shedwa that's Bebre. Well, you've heard from the woman. Ordinarily should have been selling cabbage at dawn, but due to the president's directive, she's here to also engage in the cleanup exercise. Let's get closer to more market women. Mpacho akwa baba Metro TV. Mpacho otonde bitontos na enswe adentina wan she join
ena mo say cleanup na kroma ye fin so na eto ya nyuma na esisi ye nitampa se na mama kan na ama dwomu nyina ye kama bebia ye fine ya da ka ye hwe so enye ye fine bibia da kama
Obeba be party
mesa to asu biom na ma san to ma de kakra bi na ma to asu bibia ye kama
who buy no who say other market women no muton ade who say obia
oh ma hu say obia to ma chi na me buy no apra nko na ha siesie nko an to obia anton ade obia o mu di say obia ye hwedwa ye nyoma we bibia
so much. So we've heard from the market woman currently at the Kimbu Road. She sells tomatoes, and then she said ordinarily should have also come to sell her tomatoes, but due to the directive, she's here as a good citizen to partake in the cleanup exercise. And earlier I was speaking to the Accra mayor. Deployments were made to various places. The directives has been that there will be sweeping, the stealing of the gutters, and then fumigation in all parts of the city. And so that is what has been going on. It's important to know that the police is taking part in this. And you know, in your shot you can see the AMA task force around, ensuring that nobody comes to sell in the market, which will be contrary to the directives that have been given by the relevant authorities. And yes, so currently at the Kimbu Stretch, Accra Market, in your shot, you know this road is a very busy road. It's a very, very busy road on a normal day. But today, due to the directive, they are here to keep the place clean. You can see in your shot everywhere is swept clean. And some of the cars will go around to collect the rubbish. And so that is what has been going on here currently at Accra Market. So in your shot, you can see the activities ongoing. Like I mentioned earlier, I spoke to the Accra mayor. People have been deployed, the fire service, the police, the immigration, and relevant authorities and people, stakeholders, and there have been volunteer groups also, which have also been deployed to the various areas of the city to partake in this exercise. And it's also important to know that some drivers have also said to transport people to various places without taking a dime. They are also doing it as a good citizen of the country. So I'll go through the activities. So there will be an evacuation of refuse and disaster waste heaps. The locations will be at all SIP sites in Ablekuma South, Agbogloshi Lorry Park, Kaneshi Market, and Paceco. And then there will be a sweeping of streets and brushing of curbs. That will be done at the Circle Enclave, High Street, Ring Road, and Gutchesbeck Avenue. And then we have the collection of refuse from public places and road medians. So we have the Ring Road West, that's the Mortuary Road, Circle Enclave, and then we have the Sultan of Drains. That will be done at the Agbogloshi Market, Drain, London Market, Choko, Chemwena, and then Asafuache, Netta Road. And then we have the fumigation, which will be done also at the Agbogloshi Market, Aveno Township, Neoplan Station, and its environment. So it's important to know that this is done in the wake of the flood that happened earlier. So call to duty, as a national call to duty, everyone is encouraged and entreated by the president to partake in this national 2-day cleanup exercise. Well,
Right, so my colleague Vanessa there in Accra and sharing with us what was happening in the markets. There she spoke to some market women who say that they are adhering to the directive, and so they've closed the shops, unassisted, and cleaning the streets, the gutters of the markets. This is what this exercise is about. And we'll be crossing over to my colleague Shadrach Odamia Jare, our presidential correspondent, and he has been moving around with the president as the president went to Chado to inspect what was happening there. Remember that Chado was one of the heavily affected communities where many residents said that, you know what, we've stayed here for a while, we've not seen this happen in Chado before. But what had happened on the 29th of June was overwhelming for them. Many of them have lost a lot of things in their home, documents and all of that, and they're trying to put their lives back together. So he's been following the president, and there you saw, or there you're seeing some children who are school children actually at Adenta who are helping with the cleaning of the gutters, and this is what we've been talking about. But again, I mean, as much as they're helping, we need to make sure that they have the the gears to be able to work with. They cannot get into the gutters with their shoes and their socks like that. They need the Wellington boots. So the school authorities, please, I know you want them to partake in this, but let's make sure that they have the right gear to work in the gutters. But this is a good sign to help the young people understand that this is what you're supposed to do. Let's cross over to our presidential correspondent, Shadrach Odami-Ejari. He's currently at Alajuelo. Shadrach, what's happening there?
Lada de Kotoko Municipal Assembly, and we saw the likes of the executive chairman for the Jospon Group, Dr. Siao Ejapon, also the president himself, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. We also saw the presence of the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Linda Obinewa Oklu, also the Metropolitan Chief Executive, Alfredos, for the Lada de Kotoko Municipality was also present, all to inspect the progress of work and how much people are committing to the cleanup exercise. From Chado, we are now here at Alajo. This is the main Alajo drain, and behind me you can see some clumsing or people climbing up behind me. Where the people are gathered is where President John Dramani Mahama currently is. So you have the president, you have the regional minister, you have the minister for local government and chieftaincy, Ahmed Ibrahim, is also around, and every other stakeholder that matters when it comes to environment and sanitation, including the executive chairman for the Jospon Group, because evidently every Ghanaian
Shadrach Odami-Ejari, my colleague there, reporting and sharing with us what's happening at Alajo as the President, John Dramani Mahama, is inspecting the work that is ongoing at Alajo in terms of the cleaning and the cleanup exercise that is going on today. You see in your shot there the Greater Accra Regional Minister, who's been under a lot of fire. That is Linda Oklu there, going along with the president. Also, you see there many other personnel from the assembly and following and joining in this particular inspection at that particular place. Remember that when the rains came down, that Alajo drain was inundated with a lot of things, from animals to cars to people who got drowned in there, and a lot of things. So it's one of the places that really needs to be looked at, and the president is there to ensure that everybody is working and work is ongoing for that particular place. The vice president is also out moving around, also seeing to it that people are getting to do the work. So as when we have Shadrach Odami-Ejari, we'll go back to him and get the report on what exactly is happening at Alajo and several other places, as we have our correspondents across. Harriet Addy will also be joining us. We'll cross over to her to find out what is happening in town where she is, and several other of my colleagues who are on the ground. And let's cross over to Shadrach once more.
To environment and sanitation, including the executive chairman for the Jospon Group, because evidently every Ghanaian knows that when it comes to proper sanitation practices and refining waste into gold, it has to do with Zoomlion and other companies that are also under the Jospon Group. So you have the executive chairman himself here taking part in the cleanup exercise, also the president himself, like I said, leadership by example, the Greater Accra Regional Minister and other stakeholders involved. We will still be running you around anything that happens on site and be bringing you up to speed live here on Metro Television, or Regional TV and Regional FM. We are just being careful because we are actually at the edge of the drainage here, and if you don't take care, the next moment you find yourself swimming. I don't have a life jacket, but it's been very engaging. We've had a lot of people coming up, massing up to take part in this cleanup exercise. Everybody at this time, there hasn't been any force, or there is no force attached to it, where you have force workers entering the homes or offices of people to get them to work. It is actually voluntary. You get on site, and there are a lot of people who are taking part in this exercise. Most of them are even eager to find work to do around the cleaning up areas. So from the gutters, the big gutters, to the drains and other things involved. So we will still be making sure that we bring you up to speed, or bring you details of the cleanup exercise that is ongoing. This is Alajo in the Ayawaso area, and we still have more going on. We also have other some excavators doing the silting works in the drain. You can see in your shots we have some vehicles that were carried away by the flood also there. So let's get on board. We'll still be bringing you up to speed, giving you all the details.
Right. So my colleague Shadrach Kodame Ejari there, bringing us details of what is happening at Alajo currently with the president and the Greater Accra Regional Minister. And you see the shots there, the silting of the gutters, taking out some cars that were caught up in the rains, and you see that they're from Alajo. So that's a report by Shadrach Odami Ejari. Kwitse joins me here. He was out this morning, and he's been following what's been happening. And of course, let's engage him now. Kwitse, good morning.
Good morning.
This is the day. I don't say this is the day the Lord has made.
The Lord has made.
but we definitely had to step out this morning and to see what was happening in town. Just share with us where you went to and what you observed.
All right, so I went to Ayawaso East, which made up of from 37 to the Flagstaff House and then to the Nima Kanda Highway. So we started off around 6:45. We started the sweeping and cleaning exercise. From that time. We had a lot of dignitaries that joined us. I mean, we had from the Diasporan Ministry, we had Kofi Ochedako, KOD. We had also from the music fraternity of Ghana, we had Rexoman coming also. And then former Finance Minister Seth Tekwe was also part of the exercise. We also had, Deputy Chief of Staff, and I'm talking about Honorable Nana Oyebampo Ado. She was also part of the cleanup exercise, and it was so lovely to see all of them, going into the gutters, collecting rubbish, carrying sand, and so on. And it's just beautiful. This goes a long way to tell all of us as Ghanaians that what we need to do is to cultivate a habit that on a weekly basis we can actually clean. Because if you critically look at what we did this morning, under 2 hours, the stretch from 37 Military Hospital to the Flagstaff House was absolutely cleaned. So just within 2 hours, we are done. So even if every week we can take 2 hours just to clean our spaces where we live, places that we think needs cleaning, I think that it would go a long way to help us. And then we would also be able to stop some of the floods that are happening these days, or almost every year that, we get to June and then July.
And for me, more importantly, that stretch is one that leads to the seat of government.
Yes.
And so it always has to be clean. But as you engage some persons who are taking part, or people who are passing by and all of that, what did they say to you?
Well, they were all enthused about what was happening. But then I think one of the things that I saw personally, which I wasn't happy, not just me, but then a lot of us, was the fact that some of the people that were in trotros, they were throwing this pure water rabbits on the floor whilst they were in their buses and they were going, and whilst we were cleaning. So you wonder that, okay, if we did this today, I'm sure that by tomorrow, even though it's another day for cleaning, we might come back and then meet some of these rabbits lying down. Yeah. And then, even if you look at where the green grass is being grown, they are throwing the rubbish into those areas. So it's a very big question. And I was speaking to Honorable Nana Oye Bampo Addo, and then I was asking her that are we going to go to the extent of making sure that the transport, industry are made aware of the fact that we are actually cleaning Ghana. So what they need to do is to actually speak to the drivers and mates, so they can also speak to the passengers, so that they can also cultivate a habit of cleanliness. Because if we don't do that, whatever we do in terms of cleaning, like we're doing today and tomorrow, it comes back to the same thing.
It's a very interesting thing, because if you're sitting in a vehicle going to wherever you're going to, and you are not able to keep a sachet of water or a yogurt you buy, or you buy plantain chips, and you are not able to keep just that, or a bottle of water, you're not able to keep that and put that in your bag and go dispose it off at home, then it's problematic. It boils down again to the mindsets that we have as a people, because the thing is that because we are in a vehicle and we drop them in a vehicle, some of the trotro drivers and the mates, the conductors, they get to anywhere they want and they sweep the refuse off and not even put them in a dustbin. They just also drop it off the street somewhere, and that's what keeps happening. So if you're really going to have this fight head on, do this head on, we need to make sure that the attitude of the people is changed. I mean, you can't keep this in your bag. I mean, if you anything like that.
we just can't do that. I mean, I was expecting that some of these bus drivers would have a little bin, that's bin in their trotros, so that at least if people can keep it, they can actually drop it in. Because the truth of the matter is, at every stop, if about 3 or 4 people get down from their buses and there are rubbish just in front, they just drop it on the floor at that bus stop. They go to another bus stop and then there's rubbish in there, they drop it again. So it's an ongoing affair when it comes to the trotros, and then also some of the few cars that are running around with passengers in. We're just hoping that we would all inculcate the habit of cleaning up our spaces almost every week. Even if we should choose a day or two, it goes a long way to help all of us, because the rubbish is just becoming unbecoming in our communities, and in Accra particularly, which is Accra, the capital city.
This is the capital of the country, and then you see all of this happening here, and it's a very, very sad thing. But again, it is good that we have our leaders stepping out. That is the example so that's why from the statement, the directive that came from the presidency, it mentioned today specifically to have ministers, ministries, MMDCs, MMDAs leading the charge, government agencies leading the charge, so that from the back, people will see that our leaders are involved in this. They are part of this, and so we also need to be part of whatever exercise that is going on. And so it's a very serious thing that we need to hold on to as a nation. I mean, when it rained, and then at the Jubilee House, you saw the water, getting onto the garden from the road and all of that. The
gutters. Former finance minister Setekwe said something. He said our gutters he was talking about our gutters, and he says that most of our gutters are not big enough to contain the water, or when the rains come down, the gutters are not able to contain them. And it's because of structural problems or challenges that we've been having over the years. So we're just hoping that, with this cleanup, if we continue from now on, it's going to help us make sure that, we don't actually get our gutters choked every now and then when there are rains or the June, July rains come down, then we get into this flood issue that is happening now with us.
Okay, right. So Nana Kwesi Kwetia there, he was in town at Ayawaso Central, and is telling us what he observed there. And my colleague Shadrach Kodame-Jare joins us in studio now to also hear from him what he observed on the day one of the cleanup exercise as he was following the president. Shadrach, welcome back from town. Just share with us this morning how the journey was.
Well, this morning has been fruitful, except for the fact that I haven't had the opportunity to take Wachi or TZ. But talk of the cleanup exercise, it has been very fruitful. For the presidency, it started in Chado, in the Ladade Kotopon municipality. And from the very early part of the day, we saw the municipal chief executive Alfredos, followed by some constituency executives and the residents, and then the regional minister Linda Obenewa Oklu also came in, and finally we saw the president himself joining the likes of the executive chairman for the Jospon Group, Dr. Sian Ejapon. So the two men actually led the cleanup exercise. John Dramani Mahama, president, and the executive chairman for the Jospon Group started from the silting of the choke gutters, checking up on personnel doing the cleanup exercise. And like you mentioned earlier, we saw Chado bearing the brunt of the flood some days ago, where we could barely tell which house is black or which house is blue. We had even cars buried or inundated by the waters. So Chado has now become a hotspot or a very top spot when it comes to flood issues. So from the drainage and then the areas they were cleaning, they had to continue to where the main Peshi Lagoon passes through in Chado. And evidently, it's also seen that many people have encroached on the waterway. You have people building there, you have people having walls or demarcations around the waterway. So gradually, the Peshi Lagoon has become more like a gutter, not really an open space serving as a water receptacle to hold flood waters when they come in. Because those places are supposed to be wetlands, or call it Ramsar, which are supposed to hold water and then gradually release them into the ocean. Now we have built in those waterways. So where would these flood waters pass when they come in? And like it or not, we are also at the mercy of climate change. So the volumes of water eventually are exceeding what we expected. We would always be taken by surprise. So the president decided to go to that part of the vicinity to check what really was the issue, what was happening. And then you had people or residents there crying out so loud. Sorry. It's because I've not had my Wachi, but sorry. They have been there from 2000. Desmond, don't laugh at me. It's been quite a tedious day. For over 20 years they haven't seen anything like that, and now they are seeing that as a result of this encroachment. So from Chado we continued to Alajo, and Alajo has also or always been at the mercy of the flood, same. Especially, there may be even times where it will rain from upstream, like Ebri and its surrounding communities. It hasn't rained in Accra, but the Odo gets full because of the volume of water that is running from the top through to those of us living here at the lower side. So the president checked Alajo, the Alajo drain and its environs, and the vehicles and other things that were carried by the water. And then from Alajo, we now continued to the Mamobi Polyclinic, where he donated relief items that have been brought in by individual companies or other individuals who wanted to help victims. Yeah, so the donation at the Mamobi Polyclinic and then at the 37 military hospital.
Right, Shadrach, thank you very much for bringing us the updates on your trip this morning with the presidency, President Mahama, going around from beginning from Chado to Alajo. And so thank you, Shadrach and Nana Kwetia. And we're crossing over to Ablekuma West, where Eko Sechisaki is also there gathering whatever is happening there. Hello. Okay, so we're going to get back to Eko on that so that he can share with us what he's observed so far. But Shadrach, talk to me about the participation of the residents there. Are they aware something like this is happening?
Truth is, I was even overwhelmed, if I should confess, about the turnout of at the various locations, because usually we have seen when people are being called out for National Sanitation Day. It's National Sanitation Day, yet you find barely anybody even cleaning their own buffers or frontages. But today you have people coming in, like massing up to really do the exercise.
Right. Thank you, Shadrach. Let's cross over to Ekosechi Saki. He's joining us via Zoom. Good morning. Share with us where you've been this morning. Hello, Echo. Echo, I'm not able to hear you. Please unmute so we can continue with the conversation. Okay, so Ekosechi Saki is in town, and so those are shots from Shadrach's journey with the president this morning. So you see the president there, actually, fetching into the wheelbarrow. And you see Dr. Joseph Siao Ejapong also there. And the leader of the group showing commitment and just having everybody on board to be part of the cleanup exercise there. So that's what's happening across the capital and several other places. We'll get into the regions also and speak to our correspondents on the ground to share with us what's happening there. Abdul Basir Suleiman is in the Ashanti region and has been sharing with us a few things. We'll get to him also. And these are, some of the vehicles, some of the debris from the floods being taken out by the men at work there at Alajo. Right, so we're getting back in studio here and we're speaking to the Manager of Governmental Affairs at Zoomlion, Madam Emma Joapia Osei-Dua. She joins us here for a conversation on what's happening today, and that we can have some other conversations also about today's exercise. Right, good morning, ma'am. Thank you very much for your time. Yeah, we've been talking about this. We've been talking about what to do and per the president's directive. We're here today. Certainly, we've seen Dr. Joseph Siao Ejapong out there. We've seen personnel out, machinery, everything to help with the exercise. We must be excited that as Zoomlion we're able to help. Known as the MD of the company says that the waste masters. This is your field. Talk to us about how it's been so far with the No Do campaign also.
Yes, thank you very much. We are the waste management experts, indeed. When it comes to situations like this, then we bring our strength to bear, and that is what we are all seeing. And we give glory to God, because we have for one of our pillars as godliness and fellowship. So we never take away that one. And we applaud the president and his entire team for taking this initiative, because I could see whole vehicles sitting in the drain, and you could imagine what would have happened if these vehicles that have become part of the debris were not removed and it rained again. That would have been very terrible, because that space would have been occupied and it will block a lot of debris, and that will not help. So it is good that we are part of this. We have deployed all our machinery onto the ground, and they are working. We have brought on board our personnel, our loyal field staff who respond to our call each day we call them. You see them wearing the YEA uniform, but the contract doesn't exist. It is because they trust us and they have become part of us. So anytime we get an assignment somewhere and we call them, are you able to join us? They are ready. And then they put on their gear and come. So that is what you are seeing there. It is not as if there is a government contract. We have brought them on board, on carrying them on our backs.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever they will have to take to support their stay on the field between today and tomorrow, that is part of our commitment.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And for, as we're talking about how Zoomlion used to manage all of this and all of that, speaking to the personnel, what was the mandate they were given before getting onto the field?
Like I said a while ago, we have always had private arrangements with them.
Okay.
Even when the contract existed. After 10 a.m. when they are free and we have other engagements elsewhere, we contact their supervisors and their team leaders to get us those who are willing and free to do those assignments. And that one, we pay them on our own for whatever job they will do. So it is the same arrangement. The team leaders go out there. They know them. They know those who are willing and still available to work. So we talk to them, and most of them are always very glad and available to join us to do any assignment that we have.
Okay.
And this one too, it has been a national call, and it's on the air, and you are making noise about it. So they have also heard, and they are glad to serve their nation. So they come.
Right. So we have Ibrahim Musa also here. He's head of strategy, policy and campaigns at Water Aid. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. And we'll get to talk to him in a bit. But let's connect with Eko Sechisaki, who is also in town observing what's happening. Eko, good morning. Good afternoon once again. Share with us where you've been today.
Yeah, good afternoon, Desmond. So currently I'm at Newtown, and the name of this location is called Freedom Junction. And as we can see at the moment, the cleanup exercise is currently ongoing. We have quite a huge number of Zoom Lion field workers who are on the ground, sweeping and helping with the disposing of the drains. When you look at on my extreme right-hand side, we can see some of the super trucks that have been packed. And we have a backhoe excavator, which is collecting the sediment and also the refuse that have been gathered by the residents and also the community folks for transportation to the transfer site and onward processing. So this is currently what is happening here. And this has been the situation at many places that I've visited. I can confirm to you that, to be very honest, I can say that community participation has been quite impressive, because most of the areas that I've visited thus far, because we are with the management of Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, so the places that the general manager and the general manager has visited, we have been with the general manager, and I can tell you that the community participation has been amazing. I have seen the members from the various security agencies, namely the Ghana Armed Forces, the Navy and the Ghana Fire Service. They have been deployed on the ground, and they are working assiduously to ensure that the cleanup exercise becomes a success. I'll be speaking to the assembly member for this particular area to get a reaction from him with regards to how the exercise is currently ongoing. Sir, can you mention your name? You are live on Metro Television. My name is Doran. You are the assembly member for which lecture area? I'm government of the assembly member for Ewa. Okay. Government of the first meeting of the assembly member, so we can work together. And that's why we are here. That's great. I'm pretty much sure that you've been on the ground since morning. You've been involved actively with the cleanup process. Be able to make everyone work. We all try to and I can see that from this side to the end, everybody has concentrated. So we are able
now you talk something, I listen.
I don't can tell my people that we shouldn't let maybe if the government or the say something or the government before we start working. We should try and do something about ourselves. Because the community is doing for us. If we don't do anything, we will always be expecting the president to tell us sanitation is country. It doesn't help. And now those who put water in the house, keep it down. They are telling them they should try every time take their water to the main place to keep it down. At least that will not be trouble. Or we don't find a water. Put it down. When they hear that three ball, then they come with dollar three. So today, if like it didn't work with you, yeah. It didn't it is like manufacturing water inside the house. So the baller that is brought out.
But we shouldn't wait for things like freeball or organization. We should do something about it. That's what I'm going to tell you. What will you say has been the stage where you've gotten quite a number of the residents participating in this exercise for you? Actually, we've been able to do some announcements. You have to commission that goes around, tell people, because once you have to sanitize the people, let the people understand the real importance of this work. So like maybe we now we are in the assembly, so maybe I am so with the gifts of sensitization, we're able to bring them up so that everything is okay. You've seen the
right. So my colleague Eko Sechisaki there at Newtown, and he's been sharing with us what he's observed today as the exercise has begun. So we're staying in here and we're having a conversation with Madam Emma Adwa Apiao Seidia, and also Mr. Ibrahim Musa is head of strategy, policy and campaigns at Water Aid. Let me bring him into the conversation. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. At Water Aid, what's been your general position? What's been happening with the rains that came down, with the flooding and the response thereof?
Thank you very much, and thanks to you for the opportunity. Generally, we also felt the need to be supportive. Generally at Water Aid, we work in tune with state policies. And so when the president gave the call, we also have to ensure that we are part of the process, especially with the communities that we work in. I mean, ensuring that we give the information to the communities to join the exercise. And this is what leadership does. Whilst the president, give the directive, the Minister for Local Government came to mobilize the nation, and so all of us are part. And as I walk through the streets this morning, I see a lot of enthusiastic Ghanaians, supporting the call of the president. From chiefs, from ordinary Ghanaians, you see people come out to clean the streets and to be able to show solidarity. We also see the private sector handy here. Especially the likes of Jospon Group, who have deployed some resources to support. I am sure other private sector operators are on board. The key question then that comes is, what happens after today and tomorrow? And therefore, it brings to the question of the challenges that we have in terms of waste management, especially when issues of flooding occurs. And the challenges are numerous: coordination issues, community attitudes, financing, and all that. How do we ensure that as a country we work with the state to be able to deal with that? All right, Mr. Musa, let me hold cutting. Let's listen to the local government minister. He's addressing the press. Let's take a listen to that.
The Republic of Ghana, President John Dramani Mahama, whose initiative has brought us to how far we've been able to end the work today, followed by Her Excellency the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor Jane Nana. In fact, she showed a motherly move in making sure that she moved with us to the markets to see how the gutters and those things were all. The Speaker of the Parliament of Ghana, the Right Honorable Kingsford Somana Bagwin, in fact, he suspended Parliament simply because of today's exercise. And wherever we went, you saw the MPs together with their MMDCs and the traditional leaders and queens leading the people of Ghana in the exercise. Much thanks must also go to the various chief directors in all the ministries. You could see that every ministry, yesterday as late as 11 p.m., the directors were here taking logistics to go and make sure that they took part in the exercise. Leadership was clearly shown. May that one also to be continued. Then you could see that every ministry, every office, every institution, everybody was involved. Clean up exercise. the immigration service, the prison service, in fact, all security forces and services are standing in what. Then you come to the citizens themselves. You go from both political divides. I could see even the bodyguards of the former president escorting the current president in the exercise. This is, if Ghanaians want to do something, we can do it. And based on that, may I also commend the various political parties for their outstanding participation in this exercise. Then the media houses, before the exercise began, some were doing the jurisdiction, and if not because the president leading us and we needed to follow the vice president to Nongwa Krowo and the president to Alajo and Chado, I even wanted to go to the various premises to even commend them. But because it's already late, let me take this medium to thank all the various media houses who extensively claimed. And I think if we continue like that, it will go a long way to help. Yes. Logistics were supplied. Even the equipment, vehicles from those equipment. We have the solution, and we have we have the leadership. We've begun length, or if we don't stop, we will be able to get to where we want to take the country to. I could see the Minister for Finance, the Deputy Minister for Defense, everybody going left, right, center. Sanitation and cleanliness is a shared responsibility. Our participation has been outstanding. That being said, let me still take the opportunity to thank the MMDCs. In fact, from 29th to date, most of them have still not slept. And I believe that is what leadership demands. They must continue to be in that mode. What I want to say is that yesterday we made a promise that today and tomorrow and all sanitaries are open 24/7. And we have our economy manifesto. So once you say you are working 24/7, I know the media houses are going to be checking and around the various places. So I'm reminding the MMDC, Krowo, Teshi, Achimota, they are make sure that all the those transfer free, all Abobo cycles that are taking waste to the transfer tomorrow is for free. So don't in your dustbins in your houses. All the transfer stations are opened free of charge. So make sure that if you have waste, you call Aboboya or Tricycle for them to come and take it to the nearest. So don't let us finish today there and people will be lambasting us. So I'm also using the same executive chairman of Just One Group of Companies promised the vice president, and I heard it, that Your Excellency, this Nungwa heat that we are seeing, by Sunday it will be cleared. Or by today it will be cleared. Did he say today or Sunday? Today. My wife called me that in their numbers and there are
Right, so the local government minister, Ahmed Ibrahim, speaking there, and we're still here on Metro TV, sharing with you what's happening on day one of the national cleanup exercise. I have Mr. Ibrahim Musa, who is head of strategy, policy and campaigns at Water Aid, and also Madam Emma Adjoa Apia Oseidia. She is governmental affairs manager at Zoomlion Ghana Limited. We're talking to Mr. Musa. I was making a point, but from someone who deals with policy, right? We're talking off air about some places that you've been to, some jurisdictions, and how things are done there. From that experience, how do you think that we can approach this situation, and once and for all, in the next 5 years, we can have rains come down, and then we'll say that we were not gravely affected?
Thank you very much. So, thank you. And just to add that among the interconnected issues that we are grappling with as a nation, coordination, inadequate financing, lack of policy implementation and all that, is the issue of regulation.
Okay.
And I was sharing with you that, look, if you even took out countries that mostly people don't want us to compare with, like the European countries, the Switzerland, the UK, and other places, even if you took our comparators, 2024 I was in Azerbaijan for COP29. And if you went through the streets of Baku, the national capital, I mean, you hardly will see waste bins. But I can assure you that you can, if your pin drops, you can pick the pin. You will not see paper on the ground. Recently, just under a month, I was in Cambodia, Phnom Penh. And if you look at the regulatory environment of even where tricycles operate to support the big companies like Zoomlion to operate, they are well regulated.
Okay.
In fact, when you sit in a tricycle, the driver will tell you that I cannot take more than 2 people. I cannot take more than 2 people. And wherever he stops, he doesn't want to accept cash. He gives you the bank,
like a
code,
thing,
and then you pay, and he's monitored. So, and that is what private sector need for the issue of sanitation in Ghana to be worked on properly. So, for instance, if you have the big boys like the Jospon group of companies who will then work with the smaller ones and bring them up. Once the system is well regulated, I bet you we can deal with this. It's not something that Ghana cannot deal with. So the issue of regulation, because we have gotten to a point where citizens' attitude can only change when there is enforcement. And that enforcement will then enable them to comply. Because whatever we are doing, if citizens are not made to comply with existing, and they are there. Among the 261 MMDAs we have in Ghana, all of them have sanitation bylaws. How can we work with them to ensure that they have direct links, regulatory environment to work with the private sector, the little that the state can support in terms of financing? Look, at the behest of all these challenges is financing. How can the state prioritize investment in waste management and allow circular economy principles to work? So, for instance, are we just taking waste to dump it? In other jurisdictions, waste is a resource, turning the economies around, generating electricity, recycling waste. And we set up transfer stations. Why did we invest or supported private sector to invest in transfer stations? To be able to minimize the hassle of transporting and managing waste. So we just have to come back to the basis and support government to prioritize and invest more.
When you talk about supporting government, the question begs of what has been done. Is there any any concrete thing you see has been done that you can say that, well, government is doing something, so we need to support them. Of course, the Just One group of companies through Zoomlion, ARICOP, and all of these things, that's one person who's been able to put all of that together. And then as a country, since 2000 till now, we've had monies available to us, almost about $1 billion. And to see what's been done concretely that can mitigate the issues we have, you clearly cannot see that.
Exactly, and that's also where the challenge of accountability is.
Okay.
Because what you clearly are talking about is accountability, which is very important. But you see, you can only hold people feet to the fire in terms of accountability when other supporting mechanisms are in place. So is the regulatory environment good? Like you rightly pointed out, the few treatment plans that Just One Group has invested in. This current government has come with very innovative ideas in terms of financing. 10% District Assembly Common Fund for water, 10% for sanitation. If we took that 10% alone and ride on the private sector goodwill to ensure that every metropolitan, municipal, and district assembly make good use of that 10% properly accounted for. I tell you, with the big players of Zoomlion, hand-holding smaller companies, look, we can do it. It is just to set up the regulatory environment. All the 260, and the president should tax each of them that within the next 24 years, I want each district, metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies to invest in recycling plants. 10 waste to wealth, and charge them as part of their KPIs, the MMDCs, that part of their KPIs, and bring the big boys, handhold the district assembly, those who have other private sector players that are willing, to do that. I tell you, within 24 months, smaller waste treatment plants, and then in alliance with the players like the tricycle operators and all that. Look, this country, we can do it. Already the policy environment is ripe. Like I said, with the 10% District Assembly Common Fund for sanitation, 10% for water. The important thing is Honorable Dr. Astu Forson releasing the money. If he's releasing the money, we can do it.
Okay, as Zoomlion, Madam Eba, as Zoomlion, what's the support that you believe government can help with? Of course, for now, we know that there are no contractual agreements between both parties, but you're also doing your best and expanding to other countries. But for the support that you need from government, what really would that be?
Great. The contract bit is with the public cleansing.
Okay.
Okay. There are other lines of services that we do. We have SIP arrangement with the assemblies.
Okay.
And we have the transfer stations, for which I believe there are no contracts yet.
Yeah.
We have the recycling plants also. And if government is intentional about what we want by way of sanitation, by way of environmental sanitation management as a country, then the will should be seen in the way we commit to the private sector, who are willing to go all out to bring in expertise from elsewhere where best practices are. So when we marry the will from government and the will from the private sector, then we'll be going forward. Because today, from the many COPs that have happened, we know that waste is not supposed to touch the ground. That is why with the investment that Zoomlion has brought to bear, UN had to mention Ghana as one of the 20 nations that is working towards or working at zero waste management. If government is very intentional and decides, like my brother said, 24 months, I want to see this kind of move, it will happen. It will happen. It is very important that we focus on the intentional end, than dealing with perceptions.
Right.
Okay, and today, waste management is a source of employment for thousands of people, different streams. Why? When the floods came in, and there was this Aboboya convoy on the Malam Road, quickly Dr. Japon opened the Achimota transfer station, which had been shut down for nearly 11 years. When I entered the place the first time, I was sad. This facility is sitting here, and the young guys are trekking distances to go and dump waste. So if they feel they are unable, then they leave it behind somebody's wall. That shouldn't happen. So when we are engaging with private sector and we say that, fine, all the municipalities and metros in Accra that do not have space to build a place that will hold the waste, deal with private sector, get transfer stations. We have more than 5 in Accra. They will send the waste there. As they send the waste there, their turnaround time is correct, because ideally you should go 2 times. And your area of jurisdiction will be clean.
Yeah.
Now you come struggling to dump your first trip. So it means that the other set of homes will not receive service that day. And then they get to live with their waste. And the repercussion is disease. And disease will also give us what? Reduced productivity.
Yeah.
And it comes round to hit government. So my point is that government should commit intentionally and decide that the funding is our business, and without the political will of government, that thing cannot happen.
Okay.
So when it happens like that, the monitoring should be deployed by the assemblies. Every small area of your jurisdiction, make sure that you are monitoring, you have data on the tricycles that are working there, who are the big companies that these tricycles are affiliated with, and how are they removing the waste from the nooks and cranny, and where are they holding the waste until it gets to the final disposal site or the processing unit. This way, we will achieve what we set for ourselves.
Okay. All across social media on this particular exercise, we've had questions about what would happen to the debris of the refuse that will be left along the gutters and all of that. I'll ask Madam Osaidu about that, but let's listen to the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Madam Linda Akwele Okulu.
What we should ask ourselves is that, why now, and why have we gotten to this state? And so it's essential, we only have to enforce the laws. And so now I've told my MNDCs that no mercy for the people. You see, sometimes when you find someone culpable and the person is being sanctioned, you see people coming out to plead on their behalf. And so this time around, no mercy for the people. In fact, if you are found wanted and they sanction you, make sure that you face whatever judgment you have. It's happened, just that you see, I mean, human face, sometimes you do a demolition and the same Ghanaian will be crying, oh, the government is inhuman. I mean, they say a whole lot of things. And so this time around, like you said, His Excellency has directed. But I can assure you, demolition is ongoing. The fact that, the media is not aware, there is an ongoing demolition exercise. And so when we are also done with this sanitation, demolition is also...
Where are these demolition going on?
From Weja Galof. Guys, you know the military is handling that. So this time around, like we said, do you know what we are doing? When we come and find your house sitting, on a day, definitely you should know that we'll give you not even less than 3 days, to pack your things and leave, so that building. So some buildings has been earmarked, and trust me, all those buildings have done. There's also a demolition ongoing there. They've tasked the MDCs to make sure that the blockway will be clear for them to continue with their. There are already measures in place. You see, it's not only today. We observe Sanitation Day, but today has renewed our agenda for sanitation as far as Greater Accra is concerned. And so what we are saying is that you can see the impact of today's exercise. Why has the impact been felt? It's because the turnout is massive. Everybody is on board to make sure that this exercise will become a successful one. And so why would you wait? Sometimes when they announce the Sanitation Day, they solely depend on the assemblies, and that is what is causing that. But if you take it as a responsibility, the sanitation day you should be part of it, and make sure that we clear this choke gutters. Why not? We wouldn't have gotten to where we are. And so people should make sure that anytime they announce the sanitation day, they should come out in numbers to support the assembly so that the exercise will be successful. So beyond today, I mean, we shouldn't leave it today. Anytime there will be an exercise, sanitation or cleanup exercise, they should all come out in numbers. I was saying that when we so far the 10 houses, okay.
Right, so Belinda Akweli-Okulu, the Greater Crown Regional Minister, and she's made a point that on social media it's being debated, and people sharing their thoughts about that. And I don't know what you think about that. Maybe, I don't know, producer, are we able to people as they want to hear from you? But the thing is that there's a question about taxes are being paid. And this morning, I took my time to look at the taxes we are paying when it comes to sanitation and the ways they are being collected. So the sanitation and pollution levy. People pay taxes also through property rates. There's also the BOP fees from business operation permits. There's water collection fees from households, which is to help with some of these things. There's also the market tolls and lorry park fees. So you're almost looking at what, about 5 of them that you're paying to the local assembly. And so when I generate waste, I'm expecting that because I have paid taxes, the monies should be used to clear the waste that I have produced. But this is the case where we do not see that. And now we are compelled to join in the work itself to clear into Metuya Kabamiana Mesan so clear Bolano. And that's what's caused quite a healthy debate on social media. Let me put it that way. Where people are asking questions, because then don't take their taxes, because if you take them, I don't even see what you're doing with them. Then I'd rather find a way to get it done. So I don't know if you have. So Mr. Busa, what's your thoughts on that?
Citizens have every right to make the comment they are making. Of course, because under the directive principles of state policy in our constitution, citizens enter into contract, with government. And so they have the right to complain. But come to think of it, like you mentioned, if citizens pay tax, which is so, me and you all pay tax, and we expect that when we pay tax, it should be used judiciously. The question now is, to what extent are we involved as citizens to ensure that the taxes we pay are judiciously used? So number one, all communities in Ghana, there is no community that is an island unto itself. Every community, every settlement belongs to either Tamale Metropolitan Assembly, Accra Metropolitan Assembly, Ladma, Korle Kuleti, whichever. Every settlement belongs to each of the 261 district assemblies. How are we engaging with these MMDAs to demand our sanitation rights? And in turn, how are we responsible enough? So for instance, do the assemblies put in place waste collection points, like we talked about waste transfer stations, i.e. the skips, the skip containers, are they adequate relative to the population? The waste bins that are being put at vantage point, are citizens using them and monitoring them? So responsible citizenship is also there. As much as citizens have the right to ask for what their taxes are being used for, responsible citizenship is there. So when you generate waste or you drink pure water, you don't have to throw the rubber anyhow. So if you drink it within Adenta municipality and you cannot get any waste bin, you can walk, you have the right to walk to the assembly, Adenta, and go to the waste management department or the environmental health and sanitation department and say, look, the waste bins, we cannot see them. The skip container, we cannot see them. I have generated waste, I don't know where to place them. It doesn't mean that you should just dump waste anyhow, anywhere. So the issue of the infrastructure to even manage the waste is a problem. Are they adequate? And citizens have the right, just like they are saying on your social media accounts, they have the right to ask, But beyond just pouring out, you have the right to have meaningful engagement. The word is meaningful engagement, not antagonistic. You can organize a community group and call your MCE or your waste management department to come and you dialogue with them.
Right.
And then you come out with a reform agenda to solve the problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a question that I would send to my colleague Vanessa as she's she's following the local government minister this afternoon, so that if we can get some thoughts about that. But from his press conference, he says that all engineered landfill sites will operate 24/7 over the next 2 days. All engineered landfill sites will be free for public use over the next 2 days. And round-the-clock logistics have been put in place to enable all MMDAs to continue operations beyond the stipulated 1 p.m. closure. So that's what the local government, chieftaincy and religious affairs Minister Ahmed Ibrahim mentioned in his press conference earlier as we played for you. But Mr. Musa, we're talking about policy, we're talking about this. There's a general consensus that, well, this is who we are as Ghanaians. It's happened. We'll do this for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month at most, and we'll get back to the usual, right? Because you walk through Accra, you walk through Circle. Today the streets may be clean, including tomorrow, but by next week it would happen again. There are calls for the National Sanitation Day to be brought back properly every last Saturday of the month. You know, the strict enforcement of the bylaws, as we talk about. How can we stop this? I know it's a cliche now, but we need to find a solution to our situation. How do we do that?
No, for me, key issues. Number one, leadership. And that leadership, His Excellency the President demonstrated it post the June 29th. His minister, Ahmed Ibrahim, Honorable Minister, has followed suit. We see chiefs and opinion leaders come out to support.
But for that leadership there, before the floods on 29th of June, a lot of people were not happy. Especially with the anti-flood tax force that have been put in place almost a year. And we are not seeing what
So that is an important point you made. So that is also part of leadership.
Okay.
At different levels. But the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, His Excellency, has demonstrated that, the Minister has demonstrated. Number two, logistics and financing. Logistics and financing. Look, at the policy front, we have what we call the Ghana Wash Sector Development Program. In that Wash Sector Development Program, the government of Ghana is committed to invest per annum $1.9 billion to tackle sanitation and water challenges. And you and I will ask ourselves, how much does the government of Ghana deploy to tackle waste challenges? I just made mention of the innovative financing this current government has brought with the 10% common fund for sanitation. How are we utilizing the funding? In water aid, we are beginning to do some assessment of some selected districts to find out whether even the 10%, you know, that is supposed to be earmarked for sanitation, whether the assemblies even complied. And after they did their medium-term development plans and annual action plans, are they actually releasing that 10% to solve sanitation and waste management problems? Those are things that water aid we are assessing, you know, to be able to put out. Mind you, 3 weeks ago, Ahmed Ibrahim, Honorable Minister, was also on public and indicated that some of the district assemblies are not utilizing the common fund that the president has asked them to use to solve these problems. So if they are not using it, the question is, was it part of their KPIs? And as the MMDCs are reporting to Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim, what is he going to do with any MMDCE who has not utilized the 10% that the president has committed? So financing is very crucial, and those finances have to be released for logistics to be procured and for the private sector operators who are cutting waste to be paid so that they can be able to do their work effectively.
Okay, and in terms of that, when Zoomlion was out and the work was given to the local assemblies, what do you make of that? Do you think they've had the capacity to do all the things that are needed to keep our streets clean?
No, the question is, if Zoomlion was out, what mechanism was put in place to say that if you wanted to graduate from Zoomlion, this was the mechanism. And so effectively we could have dealt with our waste. That, I will say that we didn't think through it properly. And so what it needs, what should happen is that we need to go back to the basics and say, look, this is how things should be done. We need to have very clear contractual agreement with any, not just with any private sector operator.
Right.
And those contractual agreements should be respected. And the KPI should be made known to citizens that they monitor. You know, and because, look, mind you, private sector people, they don't just come with finances. They come with technology. They come with some expertise, you know, and all that, to be able to ensure that we don't just collect waste, because now countries have moved away from just this ordinary landfill site. Countries have moved to circular economy.
Okay.
And circular economy means that even at the point of waste generation, it should be separated. Organic waste, this is the place you keep organic waste. Non-organic waste, this is the place you put it. Electrical waste, this is the place you put it. At that point, the collector will know the different type of waste stream that have been generated and where to put it. So that if it gets to the recycling point, the company that is responsible, like Zoomlion used to do, they know that these are the organic waste can be put into different streams to be transformed into wealth. So those are the mechanisms that we need to put in place to be able to manage our waste effectively.
Okay.
As a country.
We would have to just let Mr. Ibrahim Musa take. He's going to leave it a bit. So that's how I'm giving him all the questions. But just a final one about water aid. Have you been able to carry out your mandate? How has it been so far for 2026?
No, so as you know, we are an international NGO, British registered charity, but we work closely with government policy. As I speak, we are on daily basis working closely with the Ministry of Local Governments, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. We also work closely with the Ministry of Water Resources, Works and Housing. We respect state policies as we work with rural communities like Bongo, like Jurapa, to transform their water and sanitation solutions. So we have a good partnership with the state. But like I mentioned, we just in supporting the states in areas of transforming the water sector and sanitation sector, we just appeal to the state to invest rightly. And that those investments should be accounted for. You know, so for instance, the issue of the 1.7 billion government has promised to give to the water and sanitation sector, we expect that that financing is delivered. And when it's delivered, private sector organizations can partner effectively with government and deal with these hydra-headed problems.
All right, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Ibrahim Musa is Head of Strategy, Policy and Campaigns at Water Aid Ghana, and sharing with us his expert thoughts on the conversation so far. We still have the Manager for Governmental Affairs at Zoomlion with us. The question about what would happen to the debris, I'll pose that to her in a bit, but we're taking a break. When we come back, we do want to connect with our reporters on the ground. Stay with us.
Pulse of a nation, rising, unshaken. When the Black Stars take the world stage, we don't just play, we bring the storm. Fuel the dream. Support the Black Stars. Storm Energy Drink. Make your mark. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advert is FDA approved.
As the days come and go, there's always shit. Let colleagues explore all the planetary bodies. Our mission is in Uranus to treat hemorrhoids, anal fistula, anal fissure, anal incontinence, hidradenitis suppurativa, using laser ligature for pain-free and speedy recovery. On Uranus Street, Accra, is Main Tuber Hospital and Coloproctology Center. Trust Uranus with us and we will delight you. Visit Main Tuber Hospital today or call us on 0244 581 541.
Madam, I'm looking for Abena.
Abena, there's someone looking for you.
Madam, please, where's Abena?
Abena. Yes, ma'am. Is this who you are looking for?
Madam, please get me Abena. Please.
Della. Abena, bra.
Oh, Abena. It's not Abena rice. Eat any of
Abena rice. FDA adjedi nkratso yatsum.
We're kicking your year off
in all her glory
with more because we got you.
You get it?
You know that we got kicks, we got scores, we got action, we got roars.
It's my specialty.
We got drama, we got fun. We got more for everyone with an upgrade on us just for you. More channels, more shows, more reasons to stay.
We got you.
DSTV, we got you all the way.
Welcome back. It's our coverage of day one of the national cleanup exercise across the capital and several other regions. And my colleague, Ebenezer Quay, right, has been moving around, and he's currently at Ablekuma West, and he's been speaking to the Member of Parliament for the area. So let's listen to, okay, that's... That's not good, but let's listen to the MP.
In the nook and crannies and doing a cleanup as expected. But what supersedes my expectation is the amount of NADMO staff we have here, the amount of the military and the police in their working gears, in the gutters, helping us to clean this place. It's just amazing, you know. And so far, I have lived in this city for the longest time, and I never knew there was that much debt in the gutters that we drive by every day. And even as they bring it up, you realize that it is very interesting to know that at least the president's decision for us to clean up after the rains is really bringing good health into our environment, you know, because, you know, a good environment is a good healthy space to live in. And if you look behind me, and this is just the least of the gatherings, all the way to the junction, making the right. I mean, we're talking about huge gutters, you understand? And so far, I think it's gone very well, and the participation is very great. Both the youth, the young, the old, and everybody's involved, and we really appreciate it. I always talk about being a member of the Select Committee on Environment. We talk about the environment, but then after talking about the environment, the science aspect, we don't deal with that much. You see, with our universities and then by now they should have come up with systems where recycling and this plastic after usage, how do we turn them into beneficial or benefit to our community? You understand? So I am against it, and especially with the styrofoams, because though they don't decay, they just stay forever. You understand? With the plastic, so I think once we are able to segregate them, separate them, those who deal with it can deal with it. You know, I traveled not too long ago, and you realize that I drank a bottle of water. I was going to just dump my friend said, no, this is money. You understand? Because they take it back. And I witnessed somebody taking bottles to end up shopping groceries to bring back home. You understand? So we need to get into a system where those who really get into helping us to clean the environment with recycle also replenish the system with a little token, so everybody will be excited to help solve the problem.
I want to thank all the security forces that have come here in their numbers to support the community. This exercise has been going on, but I think the president of security officers has really energized the community, and you see the GPRT, the Okada drivers, and all manner of people coming to help the community so that we clean this environment. We also ask them that once we are clearing this, we should change our attitude so that the debris will not go back into the drains. Attitude must seriously change so that we move on as a country. I think basically we have to ban plastic use in this jurisdiction because we are not really using it as it should use. If we should also have some recycling facilities so that people can collect this plastics and then have them recycled, it will help because we have lots and lots of them and we are really not using them. Filth is worth, but it depends how we want to use them to inure into the benefit of the country. So I think that if we don't ban them, then we have to have a lot of recycling facilities to have this plastic waste recycled.
These areas, the drains are silted, so the volume or the carrying capacity of the drains are hindered. When it rains, it's not able to perform as it's supposed to perform, hence the flooding. So this exercise, the directive of the president, we are all getting involved so that we silt all the drains and make sure that the drains carry their full capacity when it rains and also perform its function as it should be.
From the health perspective, this is a good practice. If we are going to continue with this practice, malaria and diarrhea diseases such as cholera, typhoid and other diseases would be prevented in the district and the whole of Ghana. Because after the flood, we've been getting diarrhea cases at the polyclinic, which we don't wish to have. So doing this exercise will prevent cholera, then it will also prevent typhoid, then it will also prevent malaria, which are all life-threatening diseases to the people of this constituency.
All right, so that was a report by my colleague Ebenezer Kwe. So he had the Member of Parliament for Ablekuma West, Reverend Dr. Kweku Addo, who spoke earlier, and all the other persons who spoke there. But just look at the heap of refuse that are being taken out from the gutters. That shows you the magnitude of the situation we have at hand here. Madam Osaidia, we're talking about, so with that, the debris as taken from the gutters, how would it be disposed of?
Thank you. This is silt, and this is sand mixed with all other things and water. Now, this silt cannot move into the compaction track as it is now. With the water in there. The composition there will spoil or help rust the components of the compaction track. Or any other vehicle that picks it up. So what we need to do is to let it rest a little bit for some hours for it to drain off the liquid. Then we come around again and pick up the silt. This silt is coming from the untarred interroads, the roads within our suburbs. As I drive onto the tarred road with some of the sand, and when it rains, it washes into the drain and it keeps piling. So if you want to deal with this, on the daily, the gutters should be silted. Those small gutters should be desilted, should be washed. Morocco is part of Africa. The streets of Morocco is washed and washed through the drains. We say waste is wealth. Yes, the young guys in the community can be assigned to be washing these gutters on the daily, and they are paid. They have means of employment. And it brings a lot of peace of mind. Value should be added to the recyclables. Once there is value, everybody will want to keep his or her own properly so that he can go to the buyback center or wherever it is being collected for some points or cash. And again, if there is effective monitoring, then we will have to pay attention to the extended producer responsibility. What are the companies that use this packaging to carry their products doing after it is spent.
Okay.
Whatever there is in the policies, in the documents with the authorities that should be done. Then we will find money to pay the boys who will desilt the gutters.
That's a very good point.
When we get the plastics bought back at the buyback centers, some money is exchanged for the value of the plastics you have brought in. So when I go to buy my water to drink, I will keep my containers full so I can get some stipends, top it up, and buy another crate.
Right.
It will help prevent the plastics from moving into the streets. And the last one is we should be responsible as individuals to know that we have to bin our waste.
Okay. There's been a lot of concern on social media about such things as we saw in the video earlier, that after you say the needs to be dried up, we miss because it's happening everywhere in the capital today and across several other places. As Zoomlion, how are you taking care of that with the debris?
For Zoomlion, we have deployed all our tools and equipment to handle this. But ideally, on a normal day, all 7 regions will not do a cleanup like this.
Okay.
Yeah, all 7 regions will not do a cleanup like this. And for you to do a cleanup, you plan and then move into doing it. This one is a case of emergency. So we have moved all our tools and equipment to the field to work. And we have opened up all the receiving bays to receive waste without truncating that service at any point in time for today and tomorrow.
Okay.
We have the transfer station at Teshi opened. We have Ashaiman. We have the one at Pantai, the one at Achimota, and the Accra IRECOP. We have IRECOPs in all the regions. So all the regions that are affected and are close to the IRECOP can arrange for their waste to be sent in there. We have the dump site at Adepa also opened. IRECOP, ACAP at on the Nsawam Road, the name of a place has escaped me. Ajenkotoku is also opened. Pong is also opened. And so when you finish with the waste, it will go to these places. Those places that are not the final disposal site will hold it and take it at the right time when traffic is down and the road is free, so we can move very, very fast. So citizens should not be worried about the waste sitting by the roadside. It will sit there for a few hours so that it can drain off the liquid so that our vehicles do not get damaged. And yeah, as we do this, we encourage citizens to also manage their on-premises waste properly. Make sure you put your waste that you have generated into a bin. If possible, segment your waste. When you do that, there will be more value on the recyclables because it is not dirty. When it's not dirty, the buyers will push it up, give it a bit more value for you to earn more. And the organics to put it aside so that it can be used to do something else, or when it ends up with the recycling plant, we can use it for the compost. Okay,
right. So that's an explanation to some of the concerns that have been raised on social media regarding the debris that will be left. A lot of my friends on Facebook are asking, "Oh, this is Ghana." We'll see that the debris will be left there and water will wash it back into the gutters and all of that. So that's an answer for you that when you're taking out of the gutters, it will be left for it to a few hours to dry up, and then the trucks will come around and pick them up all across the region and where the cleanup exercise is taking place. The Christian Council of Ghana has also donated some environmental books to Metro TV to share with our viewers that would, definitely try and reset our mindset when it comes to the indiscriminate disposal of Waste, and my colleague KOB has been following the Christian Council. They've also been partaking in this particular exercise.
So as part of the Christian activities that is being embarked by the Christian Council of Ghana, they have donated about 400 books for Ignite Media, Metro TV, Original TV, and Original 91.1 FM viewers, so that they can know what exactly is going on and some of the things that they are doing. We will talk to them and to find out what this book is about and what is it for. Hello.
Yes, thank you very much. So on behalf of the Christian Council, Reverend Michael Enu, who is an executive committee member, and Reverend Godwin Amuzu, director of Interfaith and Ecumenical Relations. So this is a booklet. It was launched a couple of weeks ago, Christian Home Week, on environment. This year the Christian Council is looking at environmental care and cleanliness. So in conjunction with the local government ministry, this booklet was launched. And since today is a national day of taking care of the environment, creation care, as we say in theology, on behalf of the Christian Council, we're giving this to Christian Metro TV because you have had the presence of heart to join us here. And so this is our little contribution. Take it back to your studio, between yourselves and your media outlets. When studio guests come around, you just give it to them. So you are joining us in evangelizing and spreading the environmental care message of the Christian Council of Ghana. And we appreciate your presence here very much. So this is our token.
Thank you very much. Robert, is there anything you would like to add briefly?
Yeah, so nation building is a collective responsibility. As we say, we are all involved in developing our motherland. And so we see Metro TV as a key part. Yesterday you did a big interview for us on this. We issued a statement endorsing what the president has done and reiterating our own program, the importance of our program, and you gave us massive publicity. And so, as a token of our interest in collaborating with you, we are giving you this book so that you get them at your premises, your reception, etc. As people come, sit down, doing business with you, even as they flip through, you know that indeed we all must be involved in doing the right thing, in having a mindset shift, mindset change towards preserving the environment. We want to destroy the environment by destroying our own lives. Thank you very much.
So as the book indicates, a clean environment, our responsibility. I want to challenge all of us and encourage us that we should participate actively in ensuring that the environment is clean and endures to our own benefit. Thank you very much.
Championing environmental issues and problems within our communities has been the major hallmarks of the Metro TV, and that is what is being reflected by the Christian Council of Ghana. They have donated about 400 books about environment and Christianity and how we can keep our environment safe. This should be a symbolism that we can all take part of our environment and make it a very safe for all of us to live. I am Kofi Otobekwe, Metro TV, Accra.
And so we'll have those booklets at our reception. When you pass by, you can request forward and read that from the Christian Council of Ghana. And of course, yesterday as we spoke to the spokesperson for the National TV Imam, Sheikh Army Al-Shaibi, also mentioned that from the office of the TV Imam, they would also be engaging some of the Muslim communities to partake in the exercise and all of that. So you may be watching us on TV and seeing all that is happening. You see the security officers, Zoom Lion, government agencies, everybody doing that today. Tomorrow, every single person, no work, so you be at home. So we all partake in this, clear that, all the refuse from the gutters. In fact, when you look at some of the slabs that have covered the gutters and they're taking off, it's crazy. It's very, very, very sad that we have all of that happening. And so we need to make sure that we are joining in and making sure that the exercise is successful. For Zoom Lion across the country, they are helping in with that. And last week, the Ashanti Regional Minister and the Metropolitan Assembly, together with some other persons, did a cleanup exercise in Kumasi, where my colleague Derek Adote brought us that report. And before that, the No Do campaign had also been going on here in the capital, where some desalting of drinks and all of that was also taking place. And we're talking about the debris and all of that that will be left after the exercise today and tomorrow. And interesting one that, as I mentioned earlier, from the local government minister, says that the landfill sites are opened 24/7 for the next 2 days. That's interesting one. I'll take the thoughts of Madam Oseidia on that, the landfill sites, and also he says that they are going to be free of charge for the next 2 days. Very, very important one there, and we'll see how it goes. But Vanessa is with the local government team moving around, and all our other colleagues are also on the ground to observe what is happening, and will bring us more on that. Right. So, Madam Oseidia, the issue about the local assemblies and how they can help the situation now, because at the end of the day, it is on their doorstep. But something could be done. We're discussing, as you mentioned, that they need to find ways and means to get people to take care, even after this cleanup exercise, where the gutters will now become clean. Hopefully, it will be for a long while. They can get small groups of people to take care of these things. But after they do all of that, the issue is the landfill sites. At the end of the day, we know that some of them, due to the flooding, there are issues with them. But just share with us where some of these what's it called, the waste that will be collected will be taken to, in terms of the landfill sites and all of that.
Okay, I said that some of the waste will be taken to all the transfer stations, all the landfill sites that we have. So if you are close to Achimota transfer station, you make sure all your waste is going there. I believe the assignment has been scheduled into areas. So if the area where you are working is near Teshi, you don't have to travel all the way to maybe to go and dump. Go to Teshi transfer station and deposit your waste there. There are officers there with their contacts, which for the sake of time I cannot share here. You go and then they will help you discharge your waste properly. You go to Achimota, you go to, if you are close to Adepa, straight away, just go there. If you are close to go there. If you are close to Ashaiman, Pantine, near Abokubi, you go there. And then you dump. That is in Greater Accra region. Now, I said earlier also that the silt that has been removed from the gutters, because it contains some liquid, will have to be deposited on the ground, and water goes out a bit before the compactors come. And for this reason, throughout today, tomorrow, and following 1 week, vehicles will be plying the roads, the waste management vehicles, to be collecting any debris that has been left ashore the gutter.
Okay. We're crossing over to the Central region. Isaac Dadzi is joining us to share with us what's happening in the region. Isaac, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Share with us your observation today for day one of the cleanup exercise. Hello, Isaac.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Hello, Isaac.
Hello.
Isaac, so I'm asking you to share with us your observation so far for today's cleanup exercise.
Very well. Yes, exactly. I'm in Central region, but to be precise, I'm in Infantaman constituency. And here in Infantaman constituency, we are also witnessing the president's strict, and as the president's strict advice that we should also ensure the sanitation, or also the cleanup exercise, to ensure that this flood issues which occurred recently doesn't happen again. Even if in case it should happen, we wouldn't witness exactly the circumstances that we witnessed. In Fantaman, in fact, the municipal chief executive, who happens to be Eric Stanley Aqua, together with the NADMO team and the security apparatus, today they came out in their numbers, and as we were all told by the local government minister, they were all out this morning, and in fact, we started it this morning in Fantaman. We didn't start early, but it was very late this morning in Fantaman. We started around 8 o'clock that way. And in Fantaman, as we were told, in fact, the people around here are somehow not happy about how the sanitation was organized, because it was delayed, and also the equipment which we're expecting that the assembly should support the residents and also the community to enhance this sanitation, in fact, were not that enough. I would say it is not efficient enough. So people who were distilting the gutters, and people were also trying to weed, people were trying to also clean the spaces, getting those empty bottles and those rubbers around, just which they were expecting that the assembly will help in also taking those garbage or those rubbish to its appropriate place. The equipment were not enough. They are not even available as we speak right now, and that is the. It's very they are complaining, I would say so. They are complaining that it's like they are very ready to work to enhance the sanitation exercise, but the equipment which should help them, that what they are doing can also motivate them, that what they are doing can also assist the sanitation. They are not getting the equipment enough. And I engaged the municipal chief executive, which is the Eric Stanley Aqua, and he told me that it's true that the equipment are not enough. As we know that the drip machines which the assembly is relying on, yes, as I said, the assembly is relying on, that can help this as sanitation. It is not that enough. And Fantaman is a very big and a very large constituency. So when the drip machine, one of the drip machine, when it goes to a different location and getting back to where the people want it, delays a bit. And that is the issue that Fantaman is getting right now within the constituency right now. So as we all know, and as we all witness, and as we all heard from the local government minister, in Fantaman, we are also answered. But yesterday, Fantaman started DS yesterday. But thinking today, people will come out in their numbers just to help this sanitation. They are not coming out. Okay. They are not coming out because, one, they are saying that they didn't hear the announcement, the publication was very low, and you see people they are complaining a whole lot. So,
Isaac, I want to come in. Can you hear me, Isaac?
I'm on the line.
Right. Today is the first day, and really, today is not the day for everybody to be part of it. So tomorrow, then we can judge how many people will come out from their homes and be part of the exercise. But we're making a point about the lack of the equipment. Really, what was the explanation from the MCET as to why they haven't got a lot of equipment to work with?
Okay, yes. I engaged the MC concerning about the lack of the equipment. And, what he told me was, the assembly is relying on the drip machines, which they think that their machines, that is the machines that the assembly know that can help this sanitation. But Fantaman is a very large and a very big constituency, so the drip machine can be at somewhere like in Yamanasa, and when they need it at Mankesim, and from Yamanasa to Mankesim it's not just a walking distance, it's a very far journey as well. So it's like what he told me, or what he justified, was like the distancing is delaying the drip machine to get to where they want the how do you call it, the garbages and those things. taken from the gutters to be taken to its appropriate place. Initially, in fact, what he was saying, he knew that I made some point, but we have to accept it to do. Yes, indeed, yes, the drip machines in Pantman are working, but as we wanted it to work effectively, as we needed it right now, as we want to enhance this sanitation, we are not getting it. And people are complaining, people are calling me and Ike, and we have distilled our gutters, and the garbages and the sands and the waste products are on the shores of the gutters, and in fact, when the rain falls right now, it will get back to the gutters. That is the complaints we are receiving right now from Infantaman.
Right,
and,
Isaac.
Exactly.
Yes, so we'll keep it here, and those concerns, it needs to get back to the MC and eventually to the regional minister. They have to find ways and means to get those things done. If people are calling, it's because they know that when you report and we talk about it here, they'll get some answers to it. So thank you very much, Isaac. We'll come back to you for more on that. So Isaac Danz is our Central Regional Correspondent, sharing with us what's happening in the region, especially from the Infantsman constituency. Very soon we'll get to the voter region and speak to Gabriel Asempa. Okay, he's on. Gabriel Asempa, good afternoon. Lucky.
Before
left, yeah. So talk to us about the cleanup exercise day one. How's it going?
Yeah, as we all know, the voter region is also adhering to the president directing the 2 days exercise in the region. In the voter region, though it's only 10 districts and municipalities that are hit by the current flood, but all the municipal and districts are adhering to the exercise. The regional minister have made his schedule for 5 districts today, and tomorrow we will go for the rest 5. The most heated districts are the Central Town, the South Town, Angola, Keta Municipality, Ketu Municipality, Akachi South, and North Dai, and Pandu. Currently, I am at South Dai district, the Member of Parliament for South Dai, Honorable Tafiamepo constituency, where the Dambai market is one of the biggest markets in the district, and it is situated at the river bank. So when the flood happens, all the babies, the rubbish, all came into the river side. So currently, the river, any baby that enters, it will automatically brought it back in natural way. So today, the residents, schools, students, and traders, drivers were all there to offload all the rubbish in the river bank, the market, and then the township. So that's what is happening in the South Dai now. When we engage the MP, that's Honorable Tafiamepo, he commended the president and stating that the initiative will inculcate the habit of good cleaning environment in the children, so that when they grow up, it will live with them, so that they can practice good environment in their various or where they find themselves. For the district chief executive, he stated that in the past, when you come to the many markets, I can tell you, you cannot even walk through the river bank. But today, everything has gone off, the clear all the rubbish, everything, and the DC also said that they are putting measures in place, even employed task force around the river coast in the many market that will care for anybody that wants to throw rubbish in the area. The environmental officer also was saying that it's their job to educate the residents, so that's what they are going to do going forward, so that the residents in Germany township and then the market, those who are trading and then teacher will stop putting rubbish in the river. And the market women, the traders were happy. The women spoke to the Metro TV, they were happy, and they even said that they will continue not to wait for anybody to give a directive before they were back on clean-up exercise, they will take it as not daily basis or in a weekly basis, that they will maintain their gutters so that the next raining will not affect them by flood coming to their houses. Hello? Hello?
Yes, and so, Gabriel, are there issues of lack of the equipment to work? Have you heard any complaints like that?
No, not at all. Yesterday, we engaged the NADMO officials. They said every logistics has been sent to each and every municipal and district assembly to carry out all the today's and tomorrow coming exercise. So there's no complaint about logistics, everything is charged.
Okay. Right, all right. That's Gabriel Asempa, Volta regional correspondent, speaking to us there about the exercise in the region. Remember that the region was also hardly hit by the heavy rains on the 29th of June, where massive flooding, washed away some homes and a lot of belongings of some of the residents in the region. And so we'll get back to Asempa later. For now, we're crossing over to the Ashanti region, and that is the KMA boss has been speaking. Let's listen to him.
This is much encouraging than what we normally see on National Sanitation Days. It is the first time as mayor that I've gone around that I see the involvement of ordinary citizens. Hitherto, what you find is that fire service personnel, KMA officials, sometimes police officers are the ones seen around where the activity is taking place. But this one, we were at Toyota, and all the staff of Toyota were there with us to clean their surroundings. Then from there, we went to CFAO, where they sell Mitsubishi vehicles. All the staff were there to help us clean the vehicles. In fact, in front of the CFAO area, we did a lot of work. Then we came to SNIT. At SNIT, all the staff, management of SNIT and First National Bank were there. We cleared the place together. When we came to Forestry Commission, we were even overwhelmed with the volume of work that has been done. So on the basis of that, I'm even advocating for us to take a second look at the National Sanitation Day, which is held on Saturdays, for us to consider bringing it on the first Friday of every month, just so we can have the institutions and organizations participate the way they have done today.
Right, so the KMA boss speaking there. Our correspondent Abdul Basit Suleiman is joining us on phone. Basit, good afternoon. We've seen that you've been reporting about what's happening in Kwabri East, but what's been the general observation of the cleanup exercise in the Ashanti region?
Well, Desmond, good afternoon and good afternoon to our viewers. I can say that the first day of the exercise has been so successful to the extent that most of, especially the institutions within the Kumasi metropolis, have come out in their numbers to support the exercise, especially with every institution that you see that kids are out supporting the exercise with all their equipment within their own premises. So the officials of the assembly have engaged in this exercise, cleaning and dispersing most of the gutters within the CDP. It's not happening within the Kumasi Metro alone. The entire 43 municipal district assemblies within the region are also partaking in this exercise, especially Kwabri East. There has been a whole lot of exercise. We have partnered with the Zoom Lion, waste management and Zoom Lion to clean the, especially.
All right, Basit, I'm losing you. Okay, we have a problem with the connection with Abdul Basit Suleiman, but he said that it's been successful so far. We'll connect with him later. So he also heard from the MC and mayor of Kumasi. That is Richard Ofori, Ajman Boadi, also there speaking to us. So we're wrapping up with Madam Emma Adwoa-Apior Saiduya. Day one largely looks like it's been successful. For Zoomlion, day two is higher than every other day as you step out with the No Do campaign and all that. Just a quick closing remarks on our conversation this afternoon.
Yeah, from the social media interactions, I gather people's concerns about what happens when this is all done.
Right.
Say a week from today, because we will be moving around, trying to move through wherever action has been taken and then clear the debris that might have been left. So we will do that within the today and say a week from now. But my proposal for the solution is, let the various communities deploy their youth, assign them the gutters to the silt on the daily. If you need somebody to manage them, Zoomlion is available. We have done this for 2 decades. We will put them together and organize them and take care of them, managing them for you. But there should be proper monitoring of these people. Let us make sure we get the extended producer responsibility also happening, so that whatever we get from that can be topped up by the political will and the goodwill of private sector, so that the boys and the ladies who will be cleaning the gutters, as I'm proposing on the daily, can be paid. As we earn income and we are being monitored, the silt will not pile, so that we see what we are seeing. Okay. So this is my plea, that let the assemblies get their youth involved and bring in private sector, and we will do the management of the show. And
Right.
Ghana will not experience this level of flooding again.
Thank you very much for your time here this afternoon. Emma Adwoa-Apior Saiduya is the manager of governmental affairs at Zoomlion Ghana Limited. She's been with us to discuss day one of the National Sanitation Day, or the cleanup exercise, day one of it. She's going to take leave of us, and then would later have Madam Sophia Kujoji join us here. But Kofi Otuo-Bequin, KOB, is our reporter, and he's joined us on the table. KOB, how was this morning? Where did you go to?
Well, I think the exercise has been very fruitful. I've been through some various places through the Korle Korte constituency. Well, I started my tour from the Christian Council of Ghana headquarters, where the exercise was led by the General Secretary, Very Reverend Cyril Fayosi, and also the entire interfaith leaders who took part in the exercise. It was a fruitful one where various community members and then sellers around that place also took part in the exercise. And I think it's been so wonderful, and it's been very nice exercise that I took place from the place.
Okay, for the Christian Council, the question had been about how they are using this opportunity to tell Christians about the need to be clean. When you spoke to them, what exactly did they say?
Well, I spoke to the General Secretary, and we know, as the Bible preaches, about that cleanliness is up to godliness, or next to godliness. So I asked him that when you go to our various communities, you will see a lot of Christians who do not practice what the Bible preaches. So what are they doing to ensure that this message gets to their members, so that they can practice what the Bible preaches, and also to ensure a safer environment for all of us? And they are saying that they've been taking part of a lot of activities to ensure that they sensitize the general public, including their members and their leaders, to ensure that they also inculcate the need of safety environment and sanitation practice, proper sanitation practice into their members. And a lot of things that they have been doing is one of the book that they've launched. So they also gave Metro TV copies, 800 copies of the book, which is on environment. So the book is titled Clean Environment, Our Responsibilities. These are the book that also, a lunch that they are going to share among students and also some of the general public. So they've given Metro TV 800 copies to share with 80 viewers. And according to them, Metro TV has been one of the stations that are championing proper sanitation practice, and they see it as an opportunity to partner with Zoomlion and then Jospon and then the Ignite Media Group to also get the message across. So this is what are the things that they are doing, and most of the things that
they're doing to help the situation. Right. Thank you very much. Kofi Oto Bequin, KOB, has been our reporter on the ground at the Christian Council of Ghana, as they've donated some books, a lot of them. So you can definitely come around and get a copy for yourself as we try to reorient and educate ourselves about the need to keep our environment clean. For now, I have Madam Sophia Kujoji. She is Chief Corporate Communications Officer at the Jospon Group, and she's been following that in a reflector. You know that she's been on the ground. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us. This one, we've seen the boss himself on the ground, just inspecting what's been happening and having conversations with the president and other persons there. For the Jospon Group and the Zoomlion, is how important is this exercise to us?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to your viewers. I mean, you agree with me that this is our heartbeat. This is the very heartbeat of Zoomlion Ghana Limited or the Jospon Group of companies. Because for us, we see waste management as a calling. It's not just an assignment that we are undertaking, but it's a calling that has been given to us, you know, to keep the environment clean. And by the grace of God, if others are appreciating what you're doing and they want us to partner on this, we think it's a great news. It's something that I think that right from the beginning we've been preaching, we've been talking about it, that waste management is a shared responsibility. And you might think that, oh, I am disposing of my waste in any way I like. After all, it's my waste, and the way I treat it is my own business. It's none of yours. Forgetting that whatever you're doing can have a repercussion for somebody on the other side, and if you're not careful, that person there will be your own man or your own person. So if you're not careful, what you think you're doing here and you think it's your own business and it doesn't, you know, concern anybody, tomorrow it will impact you too. So for the Jospon Group and Zoomlion Ghana Limited, we think that the call for these 2 days massive, you know, cleanup is a call in the right direction, and we want to appreciate His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama for doing this, taking this bold step. We want to thank everybody who has come out, and I want to say that when you're driving through town, wherever we have been to, if you see how people are coming out and being part of this, it's so beautiful. So I kind of agree with somebody who spoke earlier and said that they think that this National Sanitation Day should be on a Friday, you know, because I don't know if it's because it's a Friday or I don't know if it's because we have seen the pain that the flood brought to us. And here I want to express my heartfelt condolences and sympathies to families that have lost loved ones and property and all others. But we want to pray and say that this should not be allowed to happen again.
Right, and looking at all of that is happening, we know the transfer stations are being opened up, even as a CSR, you know, thing that we're doing from the Jospon Group through Zoomlion. What should the general public understand about what Zoomlion and the Jospon Group is trying to do? Of course, lots of people have their own thoughts about, you know, things that happen, but in the wake of this and looking at how we're supporting, we're putting out everything that we have to help the government find a way to solve this situation. What do you want Ghanaians to have in mind? And, you know, of course, to generally push and support the Jospon Group to continue with the work.
So I want to say that, I mean, you mentioned CSR. That was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, even before the rains came, when Zoomlion realized that, look, the way things were happening and our gutters were choked and all that, we went out by ourselves, you know, to clean some of the gutters and some of the areas that are prone to some of these things. But, you know, as I always say, waste is generated on a daily basis.
Right.
So if you clean today, you can't say we are done, so we're going home. But then people, attitudes and others will have to change. And I just want to add that, yes, Zoomlion today is supporting the entire project with a number of, you know, logistics, including 3,000 personnel.
Okay.
Yes, across in Accra alone, we have compactors, tipper trucks, skip trucks, payloaders, you know, Wellington boots, reflectors, gloves, nose mask, shovels, and wheelbarrows, and all that. We believe that waste management, and we insist on that, is a shared responsibility. Why? Because everybody has a role in contributing to the waste that is generated. What will make it easier for us, what will help all of us, is when people know that the waste I generate, I must dispose of it well. And when it's disposed of well, then the process, the whole thing will take a right process where it goes to the transfer stations, because the waste service providers will come and collect it, take it to the transfer station. And today, by the grace of God, Zoomlion has moved Ghana's waste management from linear waste management to circular economy, which is what the whole world is looking at, for which I think Ghana has also has actually been commended globally for doing this. And why are we doing this? Because we believe that waste is not just waste, but it becomes waste when you don't have any use for it. But waste can be used. It can be useful. So we are preaching the idea of making sure that the waste is not just thrown anyhow. People should know their roles. Dispose of your waste well. Yes, we are not saying that once all the waste in Ghana is gone, it means there will not flood. No, it will rain. Floods will come.
Right.
One, because structures have been put in waterways, and water, you cannot cap water. Water will surely find its way wherever it's out. Whenever it's out, it has to find its way to wherever it wants to be. So we have to also look at the structural development of the nation as well, and then the waste management bit should also be looked at. But for just one group of companies and Zoomlion Ghana Limited, we are committed, and like I said, it's a calling for us to make sure that the environment is clean. But we can't do this all by ourselves. We need support. The government will have to support us through partnerships. The community will have to play their role.
Yes.
You know, individuals. And as I said, we should if every individual decide to keep their environment clean from their home, then their homes will become neat. Their environment, their society will become neat, and Ghana will be where we want it to be.
Right.
And additionally, I was on one platform and somebody said, what we need is the cleaning of our minds, which is also very important.
True.
That is why we go out to talk all the time, that people should change their attitude.
Okay.
Attitude is everything. And as people are trying to change their attitudes, the laws must be made to work.
To work.
I'm excited to know that Parliament has passed this community service bill.
It's the one that's been around for a while.
I know, you know, so that when anybody has offense, create an offense in terms of sanitation, let the person do a community service.
True.
Let them clean the place. Tomorrow, they will find the need for it. You know.
Okay.
So yes, that's what I would say. That
okay. Let's. I'll come back so we wrap up. We've got to wrap up on this. But Ekuya Bebio is at Weija Gbawe. Hello, Ekuya. What can you report for us?
In the Weija Gbawe municipality, where Zoomlion Ghana Limited has commenced a major cleanup exercise in response to President Mahamad's directive. Earlier this morning, workers from Zoomlion, together with officials from NADMO and the Ghana Police Service, arrived here at 6 a.m. to commence activities for the day, and teams were deployed to several communities within the municipality, including Tetegu, New Weija, New Gbawe, and other parts of the enclave. We already know that Zoomlion Ghana Limited is committed to promoting environmental sanitation
and sustainable waste management. And what is unfolding here currently demonstrates that commitment. You can clearly see that workers from Zumilion and officials from NADMO and the Ghana Police Service are busy working, clearing the gutters, collecting refuse and removing debris from short gutters. Member of Parliament for Wejagbawe constituency, Honorable Jerry Ahmed Shaib, and his MC are also here on the ground participating in the exercise. Let's quickly engage the Member of Parliament and other officials. You have been on the ground participating in the exercise yourself. From what you've seen so far, to what extent is the flooding situation linked to improper waste disposal?
Obviously, we litter indiscriminately. We don't have a lot of waste bins. People are not very well educated on how to keep waste from drains. Or they intentionally do so because the mindset is that kind of mindset. We are calling on people generally, not in my constituency alone, to let them understand that what you do today would be a reason for you to suffer tomorrow or to benefit tomorrow. If you can litter properly, because if you can litter and expect that you will be here and there will be flood and you will not be affected by the flood, that is what we are seeing today. We are also calling on the Assembly to ensure that they enforce the laws, ensure people who litter are arrested and dealt with, ensure that you also desilt the drains. We also construct storm drains. I've shared a list of storm drains with the Minister of Works and Housing to ensure that all the storm drains are constructed. We are expecting that all of us will be a part of the process, because you see, today there is flood and you can see we are overwhelmed with filth and squalor. The garbage is too much, and if we do not leave this garbage today, you can expect diarrhea, cholera and all the consequential diseases to come up. So we are calling on people to let them understand that if they can travel outside and respect the laws outside, when they are within their society, they should respect the laws within the society as well.
Residents often see clean-up exercises after disasters occur. Now, what is being done differently this time around to ensure this doesn't become a temporary intervention?
Exactly, and I like this line of question. I also believe that this shouldn't be a 9-day wonder. On my own, I've organized few clean-up exercises, but I think that we should make it very structured, that every month or every 2-3 months or every quarter we should do some very comprehensive cleanup exercise. Shops be closed, nobody is going out somewhere to do something. All members should be on board. And then the other very important part is the education. So you can clean for all that is worth, and if the people do not change their mindset and they are not properly sensitized or educated, they will go back.
So that's a Member of Parliament for Wejagbawe, Jerry Ahmed Shaib, speaking to my colleague Ikuya Abebio there. As we wrap up on a coverage of day one of the National Cleanup Exercise, Madam Sophia Kujoji is still here. We're going to take a final remarks. Of course, all subsidiaries of the Just One Group are also partaking in the exercise.
Yes, we are. So I would say that today has been a massive success. Our staff are all over the country. As you know, Just One Group is made up of 76 different subsidiaries. We've clustered into 9 clusters, and every cluster has been assigned a particular area to go and have a look at. And pictures we are receiving shows that there's a lot of work going on. It's been massive. In addition to the cleaning, let me add that we are also spraying some of the open drains to make sure that we kill the larvae and others for mosquito spread. Yeah. So there is so much that is going on. It's been massive. It's been great. We thank God for today. We are praying and calling on members of the community to join again tomorrow. And as the MP said, don't let us make this a 9-day wonder. Of course, we have the National Sanitation Day. So let us make sure that whenever the day is up, we all come out massively to clean. Because Ghana can be exactly where we want it to be. Clean, green, and healthy. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Madam Sophia Kujoji is Chief Corporate Communications Officer at the Just One Group of Companies. And that's wrapping up our day one coverage of the cleanup exercise here on Metro TV. Many thanks for being a part of the program. So tomorrow is day 2. Today you would be at work, but tomorrow we're all home and partaking. And we'll be back here to bring you day 2's coverage right here on Metro TV. And kudos to the production team, all our reporters on the ground. We're back here tomorrow to bring all of that to you. For more news, log on to our website, www.metrotvonline.com. My name is Desmond.
The pulse of a nation, rising, unshaken. When the Black Stars take the world stage, we don't just play, we bring the storm. Fuel the dream. Support the Black Stars. Storm Energy Drink. Make your mark. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advert is FDA approved. Finding my dream apartment in just 2 days was a breeze with 7terragh.com. Looking for your next home, the perfect piece of land, or the best commercial property for your business? Are you worried about sending money home for property and finding nothing when you return? Well, worry no more. 7terragh.com is just a platform to find prime lands, perfect properties, or vibrant real estate development at the click of a button. 7terragh.com is your go-to property listing platform that allows you to register, list, rent, buy or sell, and connect with correct agents. With our AI-powered smart search, personalized dashboards, verified agent connection, and interactive property maps, all your property needs have been made easier. Check us out on 7terragh.com or contact us on 0302-998-246 or 0561-032-252. 7terragh.com, powered by MNC Properties.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to Amame Manfo, Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is several buying, and Maniswing, Nesansu Mama Hotoso, and will beg you.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Today's class is going to be an exciting one. Now, who can share an unforgettable moment in their life? Okay, Asempa.
I'd like to talk about my first time. It was her natural look, complemented by her favorite green silky apparel that caught my attention. I have